I say, first of all, apologies, I'm massively not prepared. So I am literally going into this cold, which is funny in many ways. If you're here for the match reaction, get involved. Link in the video description. If you're here live, we're live with the Manchester United team news. And interestingly enough, we are live. Good. It was just taking ages to come up on my screen, but we're live. Right, let's have a look at the team news because I don't know what it is. I've got a predicted team news on my left. I suspect we're going to see the usual criminals, usual suspects, the same old uninspiring team. De Gea in goal, Young, Jones and Lindelof, Shaw, Matic, McTominay, Pogba, Mata, Alexi and Rashford. I mean, why is Ander Herrera not starting for Manchester United? It's just... Oh well, I'm going to try and be positive. The bench contains Chong, that's it. No other youth. Grant, Delo, Smalling, Fred, Herrera, Andres Pereira and Chong. I'm quite surprised by that. I'm really disappointed that you wouldn't play. Red Baron says, ever since Woodward joined, we've been run like McDonald's without a product to offer. It does my head in. Rant seems defensive of him. I'm just very surprised that Herrera has been dropped. That's the first thing I would say. Really not happy about that. He was probably one of our best players a week ago. I don't get it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came on the pitch and was basically apologetic to him. And then in a game that you need to win, you drop Herrera. I'm absolutely stunned by it. Is he carrying an injury? I suppose you've got to go down that route, haven't you? I suppose. As McTominay said, I'm a humble guy, and hopefully the fans will see I'm a humble guy who's full of effort. Well, with all due respect, Scott, I want to see a bit of talent. I don't give a shit if you're humble. I don't give a shit if you put loads of effort in. I think we're going to need more than that. Otherwise, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in his press conference, we need to make sure that we're ahead of Leicester. He genuinely said this. We need to be making sure that we're ahead of Leicester and Wolves, and that we're the head of the leading of the chasing pack of the teams above us. I mean, that is what we maybe are aspiring to at the moment. Never been so flat for a United match, says Alex Prentice. What does Young have to do to miss a game, says Doyle Middleton. Look, I'm desperate to try and be positive. Say what you like. Drops for speaking the truth, says MUFC Reece Russell. It is a weird team. I've got to change that's my predicted team. Probably avert your eyes from that team on the left, because that team on the left I could have dealt with. This team that we've actually put out is weirdly worse. I don't understand that. I don't understand why Delo would not start over Young. I mean, these games are dead food games. You're going to beat Huddersfield and Cardiff. Huddersfield, look below me. They're all L's. Like, they've lost their last 8 games. They've lost their last 8 games and they are conceding 3 goals every game on average. So this is an easy win for Manchester United. Well, there's no such thing as an easy win, actually, you're right. But you know what I mean? It's almost like he's protecting the shit players so that when we win today, he can say, I was right about Ashley Young. Look, we've beat Huddersfield and Cardiff. I'm right about Ashley Young, but you're wrong about Ashley Young. Because you could put the kids out today and they should be able to beat Cardiff and Huddersfield. Obviously not all of them, but a few of them. And it's this protection. It's this protection of players who clearly aren't good enough. And then Ander Herrera, I really am absolutely stunned by the dropping of Ander Herrera for today's game. It just makes absolutely no sense. Matic was dreadful last week. Absolutely dreadful. Anyway, I'm just amending this team for you. Ander Herrera is 21, isn't he? So he's coming out. So we've got Mata, so it'll be McTominay in that position. Let me just move Scott McTominay over. I think we will be playing... Again, I've got to say this. Again, I think we're going to be going to a 4-4-2 with a diamond, which is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system, by the way. I must say this. Again, if he doesn't do 4-3-3, he's doing another game where he's not playing his system. Phil Jones in as well. Yeah, people are saying, God, Mark, you haven't said anything about that. Perfect game to play Phil Jones, though, isn't it? Against crap opposition, so he can come back. It's the cycle of Jones. Comes back for a couple of games, does well, makes a big mistake, gets injured. So he's coming back again. We're back in the cycle of Phil Jones. Don't be surprised if Phil Jones is man of the match today. That's what I would say. I think it's the perfect game to throw Phil Jones in. But weirdly, Ollie seems to have lost patience with Smalling, who actually this season has been pretty consistent. So, I don't know. There's so much going on at Manchester United. You almost need a bloody degree to understand it. Because if you try and understand it and you don't understand it, it will just give you heart palpitations. It's really odd. I also think that only one youth player on the bench is disgusting. I really do. It's not one youth player, obviously, because you've got Marcus Rashford, who was a youth player. But you know what I mean? I'm talking about the actual young players that we could use. It's odd. Anyway, Imrano TV says that Imrano TV says, I know we have lots of other positions that need to be strengthened, but I would rather we prioritise signing a right back before anything else, just to get Young away from the team. Zachary Purvis, I feel lied to. Where is the youth? Where is the inspiration? Where is the little bit of wow factor? I hated his football for LVG gave us youth, but he gave us youth. You're right. Welcome to Ben Darji, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I'll come to that in a moment. And MUFC Reese Russell says, I commented on your Twitter post earlier about what we need to qualify for top 4. What was your opinion? MUFC Venom was the name of the user. Sorry, mate. I'm going to be totally frankly honest with you. I don't get to read much people's stuff on Twitter. And if it's on the United Stand account, I might not have even posted it to read it. So if you want to tell us what it was, and I'll try and spot the comment for you. Yeah. Loving the Deadwood FC squad. Starts Chong, says Jack Carr. Ollie out, says Chicken Lover. Greenwood's injured and will be on against Cardiff, says Peter Daly. Yeah, but what will he start against Cardiff, or will he get 10 minutes against Cardiff? There is no point of buying Thomas Meunier. Solskjaer would still pick Young, says Sander Foss. Look, I'll tell you what, how I'm going to be about this game is because we started Transfer Daily on Wednesday because I just can't wait for this season to over. So I've started it 2 weeks early, and it's actually made me feel positive because I'm living in a dreamland. You know, like sometimes your job's crap and that, and at night you might dream about your ideal job. I think I'm doing that with United at the moment. I don't like the reality. I don't like these football games. So I've started Transfer Daily and I'm dreaming. And until August the 8th, I can dream. I've got 3 months where I can dream and I can talk about all these transfers that we could do. And that's what's making me feel happy at the moment. This isn't making me feel happy, but the way I look at the Cardiff and Huddersfield games is, well, look, a miracle could happen and we might scab top 4, which we don't deserve. That would be nice because I'd rather be in the Champions League than the Emmerdale Cup. And then the second thing is, we might actually see some goals. Huddersfield are averaging 3 goals conceded a game, like I say. Cardiff can't be far off that. So we might actually see United score from open play a few times because we don't see that very often. So I'm going to try and stay positive about these games because I can't be any more frank. I can't be a Frank Butcher. MUFC Russell says, no problem. I stated that we need to score more than 7 goals and hope for Chelsea to lose to Watford, followed by Arsenal dropping points. Well, Chelsea are playing at the same time of us, at home to Watford. Is Ollie tripping on that Norwegian weed? Jones, says Cameron Hall. There is a... Look. I know there's a lot of people angry. I'm not going to be like that at the moment unless we lose the game. I'm just going to try and stay positive about this. But to be even-handed, I'm going to talk about what people who are annoyed might be talking about. So, going through that team on the right, you've got De Gea in goal. I've still not got the right team there. Why hasn't it changed the team? That's so irritating. Oh, I know why. Wait a minute. Give me a minute. This is live. There we go. It's a good job I said that because I wouldn't have changed the team. And everyone would be thinking, that team I've got up's their right team. That team's the right team. Okay, so let's talk about that in a minute. Because Mats Ugrad says, this is seriously a bad situation. I'm Norwegian. I will never turn on Ollie. But what the hell is he doing? Exactly. I'm really, really surprised by that team. So as you go through the team, let's talk about it. So let's sort of try and understand where people might be coming from. I can only think, how the hell is Ander Herrera not starting? So you've got De Gea in goal. We know he's starting because we know, obviously, that Romero was injured. We also know that, thanks for the contribution, Summerjit Dutta. We also know that it's Ashley Young in at right back. Now, let's start off with that one. Ashley Young at right back. Why? What? Simply why? I have never known, and I thought Valencia was pretty consistently crap for a long, long time. Valencia was very bad. I never thought we'd see anybody worse. And with Ashley Young, we have seen somebody who is absolutely disgustingly bad as a footballer, not as a person. Remember, we're talking about football here. We're not talking about hate on individuals. He's been absolutely dreadful. And not only that, we compound it by giving the captain's armband. I don't understand why Delo's not playing today. That would have made me feel a little bit more positive. Ashley Young, I don't understand it. Phil Jones, it's almost like it's being done on purpose. Phil bloody Jones. Why is he playing games for Manchester United? Like, on one hand, we see no youth. Welcome to Mats Ugarad, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And we see no youth. We see no youth in the team. Chong's on the bench, that's it, he won't get used. We see absolutely no youth. But the people who defend Ollie for that will say, yeah, but we still got a chance of top 4. If we can win these 2 games 5-0, we'll get plus 10 goal difference. So you're like, all right, so we're going for experience to get the goals to get us top 4. Even though it's that experience that screwed the whole season up. So we're trusting players that have screwed the season up to get us top 4 now. Okay, all right, I buy into that. But then you think, but you're picking Young and Jones. Like, that, I could play better at centre-back than Phil Jones. You know, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. And as I say, I'm not a hater of Chris Smalling. I think Chris Smalling as a backup centre-back is perfectly good. The last 2 games he's been dropped, and I'm thinking, what did Chris Smalling do? As he walked into the dressing room and said, Ollie, you're an idiot because you pick Ashley Young. I don't know what Chris Smalling's done. I really don't know what he's done to not be to be dropped for Phil Jones. It makes no sense. Lindelof and Shaw, no problem with those 2 playing. Matic, I think is. Matic. Look, the frustrating thing for some people today, because I'm gonna expect this, so it's not frustrating, is that Huddersfield have got 14 points. They're one of the worst teams in Premier League history to be in the Premier League. They're dreadful. They're absolutely dreadful. So people like Matic, Phil Jones, Ashley Young, Sanchez, Rashi, they're going to have a good game today because they're playing a team that is absolutely terrible. So you're going to have a decision to make as a Manchester United fan at full time. You've got to enjoy the win. I'm going to enjoy the win. But you're going to have a decision to make. Are you going to flip-flop and say, oh, Sanchez played well today. He can be the man we always thought he was. Or are you going to be real and go, Huddersfield are crap. Anyone's going to play well in that game. It doesn't mean anything really other than 3 points. And that's what you've got to think about. Young, Matic, Sanchez, people will blame Pogba, says Deepak. I don't think we'll be blaming anybody. I think it'll be a comfortable win, to be honest with you. Mats Udegaard, I really don't think he has any control and he's not going to get any until next season. Do you think he is in charge? I would hope he's in charge. Sander Foss says, why are we not playing the youth? It's the perfect match to give the youth a chance and give them a good experience going into next season. I certainly would agree with you. Please do smash a like on the video, everyone. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes before kick-off. Remember, the United Stand Members Club, you can click and join. I've not seen many members or emojis in there today. But yeah, if you are a member, you get access to the exclusive United Stand emojis. We've got all sorts there. We've got Ollie's at the wheel. We've got Lube. We've got Lube Shaw. We've got Pogba. We've got Martial. We've got Jelly Babies. We've got the lot. Pick the players the fans want and we will be happy, says MUFC Russell. And welcome to Gabriel Keogh-Byrne, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. It does flash up if you do join as a member as well. I did see somebody putting something in capital letters, which I never read out, but it flashed by as I went past. And it was somebody saying, stop being negative, Mark. I love that sort of comment, because if you actually had been listening to the show for the last 10 minutes, what I actually said is, I'm not actually negative, frustrated, angry about that lineup. I'd already thought about it this morning, because ultimately this game doesn't excite me. It doesn't. I don't think there's nothing from this game that will make me change my mind about this team. They've let us down all season. You're playing the worst team in the league, 14 points. They've lost their last 8 games. They're averaging 3 goals conceded a game. They are absolutely terrible. I don't care if Sanchez scores a hat-trick, Rashi scores a hat-trick. If people start telling me, oh, they're the real deal, I'll laugh. They're not the real deal. There's nothing from this game that changes my mind about the massive problems at Manchester United, because Huddersfield are terrible. Which is why I'm not going to be which is why I said I'm quite relaxed about this game. I just hope we see some goals and, we can switch off for 90 minutes and just enjoy it, because we're not learning anything from this. You don't learn that United are back because we beat Huddersfield 6-0. You don't learn anything from this game, which is why I would have liked to see the youth, because we would have learned something. Delo at right back, we would have learned something. So if anyone says I'm being negative, what I actually said 10 minutes ago is I'm just going to play devil's advocate and listen to some of the comments and comment about it. And there is a lot of negativity, you're right, but every fan's got a right to feel how they want to feel. Personally, I'm just excited about the summer. That may be massively naive, but I'm hoping we're going to get rid of some players and bring some players in, but we'll see. But yeah, I think we'll win this comfortably. It's what you as a fan takes from it. Welcome Devon Karazavayan, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And we've had a super chat from Keep Metal Live E100. Unpopular opinion, Ollie is the Glazers' cheap option. Well, he is the cheap option. I mean, look, I personally think Ollie was the right option, but he 100% is the cheap option. Simply because I think it was Pochettino or Ollie, and you were going to have to pay 40 million just to get Pochettino out of his contract without his wages. Ollie is the cheap option, but I still think he's the right option. Maybe that's naive or not. What if we lose? If we ain't going to lose this game. And I know we have lost at Huddersfield before, but we're not going to lose this game. These players will bounce back today. They'll actually try today because there's no pressure on them. They're not playing a decent team. They're playing a bad team. So they'll play properly today. This is the infuriating thing about this United squad. It's not consistent. It's capable of losing to anybody, but it doesn't do it every week. And it's capable of beating everybody, but it doesn't do it every week. We will not lose this game of football, and we won't lose against Cardiff either. Martial's injured. Martial, Lingard and Lukaku are injured. So AHADZ says, can we ask about Martial? We knew that this morning. Martial, Lingard and Lukaku not fit. And a few people are asking about that. Do you ever go to games, says Man Lake. Yes, I do, mate. Do you ever go to games? Because you're sat typing on your comments there. And actually, the United Stand's got 2 season tickets. We've been doing it for 5 years, mate. I do watch-alongs. I do go to the games every now and again. I'd love to go to loads of games, but if I did that, there wouldn't be watch-alongs, would they? So, come see, come saw. But if you're trying to get at me for not going to games, I've probably been to games, definitely been to more games than you've had women. So that's not hard. You'd only need to go to one, wouldn't you? But no, I do go to games, and just not very often anymore. Thanks for the contribution, Lewis Blow. What's wrong with Gomez, says Samit. Well, it's a good question. It's a good question. Can somebody just answer me a question, actually? I've got the TV on, waiting for the United game, obviously. And United... I don't really know what's going on here. It says United's on at 2 o'clock, but there's still 43 minutes left of Derby versus West Brom. So how is United kicking off at 2? And also, is this a playoff game? Welcome to Roman Gardner. Somebody sort me out. Anyway, somebody sort me out. The latest member of the United Stands Club. Why is everyone Ollie out? Says Rayan Khan. I don't know. I'm Ollie in. I back Ollie. I think he's just his team selection today is odd. Tyler Reed says should have had Delo, Gomez, Chong, and Garner. The thing that surprises me the most, and I must reply, what I basically put out a minute ago was, I cannot believe that Ander Herrera has been dropped. Let's just read you some of the replies on Twitter, and we'll read some of your replies in the live comments as well. Because Ander Herrera is a little bit of a divider. He does divide opinion a little bit. Well, yeah, a few people are saying he's probably been dropped because he said it's the players' fault that they are where they are. It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy, that is. Absolutely ridiculous. The only player who actually gives a shit dropped because he's come out this week and said it's the players' fault where they are. Herrera is on the bench, Keith. He is on the bench. Keith Rosario, I like that name. Every manager will be sacked at Real Madrid. I don't want to talk about them, Leslie. De Gea out, Ollie out, Pogba out, says Jesus Christ. Well, if it's coming from the top. The Derby game is on till 1:30 on Sky Sports main event, then switches to Sky Sports. Okay, thank you, Mike Eden. You've saved me having to look around there. Edmund also says that I doubt Martial is injured, maybe punishment for last week. I mean, Edmund, we don't know whether that's true or false, but I've got to say, thank you. I've got to say that I did have that initial feeling myself. I did think that myself. I thought, ooh, is Martial having a club punishment there? But then again, if you're dropping Martial for not training properly on the pitch, there is always that hypocrisy. It was like, I don't know whether anybody saw, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does his press conference, obviously we do an instant reaction, but there is part of his press conference that's embargoed. So they do half of it and then half of it's kept back until normally 10:30 on the night before the game. So last night at 10:30, some of these quotes that we didn't know from the press conference were released. And it was quite interesting, some of the things that Ollie said. He basically, I don't want to upset you, but he basically did insinuate that he'll have to work with what he's got because he won't get loads of money. Surprise, surprise. The second thing he said was that, some of these players need to accept that they've had enough chance and I will be ruthless and they might not get another chance. Unless they're called Rashi or Youngie. Because that's the problem. When Ollie talks tough, and he does tough things like drop Herrera and drop Martial maybe, but then picks Young, it totally bursts his bubble of being a tough guy and being right, I suppose. Because, maybe Martial should be dropped. Maybe he should be dropped for last week. But you continue to give Ashley Young the armband and you continue to pick him. And again, like I say, it's nothing, I don't know Ashley Young. It's nothing against Ashley Young as a person. He might be the greatest person in the world. He might be the biggest knobhead in the world. Does it really matter? Because it's about what he does in a United shirt as a United fan. And he's been nothing short of diabolical for months. And he gets picked every game. So, yeah, the tough guy act of, I'll drop people, I'll be ruthless, is all fine and well, all great. It's brilliant. But it all falls away when you're being a hypocrite by picking crap, I suppose. Aside from Grant, that entire bench should be on the pitch, says David Mills. Thank you, David. And welcome to Stephen B. Harry, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Joe Holdway, maybe Ollie does not want to tarnish the youth by playing with the Jelly Babies, would start them in the wrong way, give them a fresh start next season. It's a good theory, Joe. My theory, as I've said to you before, is that there is no way he will pick the youth at the start of next season. He won't do it. Because this season's dead, really. All we got to do is beat Huddersfield and Cardiff and hope that everything goes our way, which I don't think it will. So the season's, if you can't beat Cardiff and Huddersfield, how low do we want to go? It's straightforward, even for anybody. It's an easy end to a season, and if we can't beat them, we're in more trouble than we think we are, and we think we're in a lot of trouble. So it's the perfect game to play youth. Next season, imagine that he doesn't know what the fixtures are for next season. So let's think next season. Our first 3 games of the season are, say, Burnley away, Everton at home, and Spurs at home. It's not the hardest start to the season, but it's a challenging start. Burnley away is challenging. Everton at home is a potential banana skin if you're not at the top of your game, and Spurs is a challenge. So, do you think in those 3 games he would play Chong, Gomez, Greenwood? No, he won't. It'll be the same. It'll be the same again. It'll be Mata. It'll be Matic. It'll be the experience. These next 2 games were the perfect games to play youth. Absolutely perfect. And actually, well, I say perfect, it doesn't get any better. Because there's never a good time to play youth. You either play them in dead rubber pre-season games or Carabao Cup games that you're not bothered about. But you're only really going to find out what a player's all about when you play them in a game that matters. And he's not going to start them next season. Like, people are talking like Twansibi's going to be our first choice centre-back with Lindelof. It won't happen. He won't do it. He might have him on the bench for a few games, but he'll go with Jones or Smalling because he seems to, like Mourinho before him, he seems to think that experience matters. So that's my thought on it. I've never seen Martial smile, laugh out loud, says Chronic Sway. And is Ollie chasing goals, Mark? We are 8 goals off Chelsea in 4th, says Dave Hayes. Yes. Crest Wilshing says that United will get beaten. Look, Cardiff is shipping 3 goals a game over the last 8 games. So the minimum United should do is 3-0 today. If we win 2-0 and somebody says, oh, we played brilliant, I'll say, well, we got 3 points, but they're averaging 3 goals a game. So it's minimum United 3-0 today. I don't think I even gave a score prediction in my preview game the other day. I'm going to go United 4-0. I think it's a standard result today. I do. And hopefully that will happen. A few people asking who's on the bench because it's a good question. But let's have a quick look. I know Phil and Grant are on there. So it's Phil and Grant on the bench. It's Delow, Smalling, Fred, Andre Herrera, Andres Pereira, and Tahith Chong. So, yeah, I agree. All of them should be starting. Fred should be... I mean, Fred's another... I mean, there's so many things you could talk about, but Fred actually played well in that CDM role. He made a few mistakes, but he almost needed 10 games. Play him 10 games in a row and let him get used to the role and iron out the mistakes. And he did make mistakes, but he also showed some real positivity in there. He's quick. He moves the ball quick. And he's out of the team now for Matic. I mean, Matic makes my blood boil. He really does. I don't like Matic. I didn't want Matic. The video's there when we signed him. I was furious. I never wanted Matic because no matter what people told me about Matic, they couldn't not tell me that he's old and slow. And he's going to get older and slower from being old and slow. I never wanted him. I never really actually... I'll put my hands up and say, with Matic, I didn't know he was one of those sort of players who... Why take 1 touch when you can take 5? Why go forwards when you can go sideways? Why pass it 30 yards when I can just do it 5 sideways? He's a crab. But I always knew he was old and slow, and I just thought that's not what United need in the midfield. I've also learned that there's other things to his game that are absolutely infuriating as well. But again, he's just, we can all say, I don't want Phil Jones, I don't want Ashley Young, but there are other players in that lineup today that really do baffle you. I mean, I need to talk about Alexis Sanchez as well. MUFC Reese Russell says, Goldbridge at times gets stick for commitment to Manchester United. Just an honest comment here. Watch Blood Brothers. He knows his commitment. His players sold opinion for this summer is 100% correct. Thank you very much, pal. And Getting Jiggy With It says, why is Ed not forced to address the fans? Other clubs have way more transparency. Yeah. How do you become a member? He says, there should be a join button at the bottom or go through the link in the video description. It's not available in all countries though. If you do, you get access to the members club. You get your name in green and you get your badge next to there. And we've got some polls on the homepage through the community tab as well. Do a crab for Matic, says Ima. Yeah, that would be a good emoji actually. Here's a good comment from Steve from Palace. He says, 4-0, you're having a giraffe. Huddersfield are under no pressure. We are under loads, and that can be problematic. 1 slip, and we are chasing a game away. I mean, for anybody thinking that Huddersfield might win this, I have to say, I suppose that they are relegated. They have no pressure. It's probably their last game in the Premier League at home for about 60 years. I don't think they'll be back. So maybe they will go out there and put a performance in. Do you think Nathan Aki would be a good signing, says Sean Byrne? No. I've got to be honest. I think he's a good player, but we need a world-class centre-back. We need a world-class centre-back. Nathan Aki isn't... And a dominant centre-back as well. He's not world-class and he's not dominant. He's a good centre-back. And I would liken Nathan Aki to Lindelof, really. I think they're quite similar. So I like Nathan Aki. I think he's a good player, but for me personally, he's not the type of centre-back that we need. We need a very specific type of centre-back. We need a centre-back who is strong in the air, and we need a centre-back who is a leader, and we need a centre-back who is world-class. Welcome, Kyron Ebril, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. Football Transfer Daily has started now. It's every morning, weekdays, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m, Transfer Daily. We've got Shows at 8 o'clock every night. We've got fan cams coming up here. Flex is here. Flex is at the game. I was funny. We had a game actually, United Stand FC yesterday. Flex was playing, and we were talking in the changing rooms. He was like, "I can't believe I've got to go all the way to bloody Huddersfield tomorrow to watch Ollie pick his same old crap." And unfortunately, he has. He said, "I really hope that he's going to pick Gomez or Chong just to make it a little bit exciting." He hasn't. He hasn't, Flex. I'm afraid it's the same old stuff. Which I don't know. I think the problem with today's game is, and I'm trying to stay positive because I think we will win. The problem with today's game is we won't learn anything. If we win, great, but it's to be expected. And you know what? It'll be the same old thing. Oh, here we are. The pressure's off, and these players turn up, and You're telling me Paul Pogba, World Cup winner, Alexis Sanchez, the best paid player nearly in the world, Marcus Rashford, one of England's best talents, Matic, an international midfielder. You're telling me these players can't do better than a crap Huddersfield team? I mean, sometimes that can be the case, but I think today they'll be absolutely fine. But do we learn anything from it? I mean, I think the worst thing that could come from this game is that we win 3 or 4-0. And people say, "Oh, that's what we need to see next season. We'll be fine with these players." It's Huddersfield. It's not fine. It's not fine, is it? It isn't fine. So, we'll... let me have a look. I've had a few super chats here. Alec Mao says, "Who do you want to come up from the Championship playoffs?" Probably Leeds. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I just would like to have a bit of... the more games, the better. The more exciting games, the better. I hate this sort of game, Huddersfield. Welcome, What's Up Turtle, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. It's lovely. 30 minutes more. Leslie Lee says, "Why no Greenwood?" Says Cozy. He's injured, mate. He is injured. Hello?
Afternoon, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Yeah.
Go on then, Marcus is in the house. Let me just read this super chat and then we can get your thoughts on the team. MEFC Reese Russell, he's busy today. He says, "Just seen an interesting post on Sky Sports. Van der Sar at the moment is unsure about leaving Ajax for United due to no assurances of what Ed wants." Well, I tell you what a surprise that is. Nobody knows what Ed wants. But Marcus, I take it you've seen the team.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it? Because I'm trying to keep the mood up here. What I basically said is, look, I agree with every United fan who is frustrated in general,
Yep.
not just because of this game. I've said the only thing that could happen today that would be out of the ordinary is we lose, because we should beat Huddersfield. They've lost 8 league games in a row. They're conceding 3 goals a game. So we should win today. And if we do win 3 or 4-0, so what? These players have still let us down. They should be winning today. But a lot of people not happy because of that team. They're like, why is Young starting? What's Jones doing there? Why is Herrera dropped? There's a lot of people not very happy with it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I totally agree with them. I mean, okay, we don't have the quality to bring in and make wholesale changes, but I think there should be at least 1 or 2 of youth players in that starting 11, because these players just haven't been up to scratch all season. I think they've had plenty of chances to show what they're all about, and they've not delivered, Ashley Young, I mean, what do we learn? Absolutely nothing. Phil Jones, we don't learn anything. Sanchez, we don't learn anything. And, the midfield 3... is going to be slower than a snail, I think, this afternoon. I mean, McTominay, Matic, we know neither of them bring out the best in Pogba. So Herrera really should have been a main starter for me. He should have been one of the first ones on the team sheet. But Rashford, they strapped him up last time out against Chelsea. So we know he's carrying an injury of some sort, shoulder injury, I think it was. We know Lukaku, Lingard and Martial are injured. I don't buy the fact that Martial is injured, by the way. I think that's because of the attitude he showed in training. So I'm actually quite disappointed by it. But we go with what we got. We got to get behind them, and although there is a slim chance, a very slim chance of top 4, I don't see this team that's been put out getting the goals. To be honest, I don't see them. If we're chasing goal differences and things like that, I don't see where the goals are going to come from, because, I mean, Rashford is not in goal-scoring form. Alexis Sanchez not in goal-scoring form. Pogba has dropped off goal-scoring.
Yeah.
McTominay and Matic aren't goal-scorers, so I'm struggling to see where the goals are going to come from today.
It's interesting because there was an article in the Telegraph, and basically they're saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that United face a battle next season to stay in the top 6, and the challenge will be to stay ahead of teams like Leicester, Wolves, Everton and Watford. And that's for next season. He's talking about that. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, if I closed my eyes, I would have thought Mourinho was still in charge and that he wasn't sacked. That's a Mourinho team. And everything Ole is saying recently is the sort of stuff that Moyes and Van Gaal and Mourinho has said. The lowering expectations is the only thing that is consistent with Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson's been in charge. It's been going on for 6 years, and it's the same with every manager. Now, that can betray one thing to me, that there is a massive, massive problem within the club, which we know. Which we know. Having said that, he also said, 25 points off top, I think we are at the moment. That's insurmountable in one season. I've got news for you, Ollie. Liverpool have just done it between last season and this season. But the difference is, Liverpool have got a structure. They've got an ownership, they've got a philosophy, and they're building something. And I think that's what Ollie needs to do. And I don't know whether I trust him. I want him to build it. But I've got to say, I've got a massive... I back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I want him to do really well. I think it's, I've seen things in him that I think he can do well. But then when I see teams like today, I think, at what point is this just gullible hope and the reality is staring me in the face? Because you start talking about stuff that I've heard fans talk about for years. I remember when Van Gaal didn't used to pick Herrera, and people would say, oh, he's not picking him because he's resting him for the weekend. And you'd think, that doesn't make sense. And no, lo and behold, Herrera didn't play at the weekend. But you were just trying to find excuses for them. And I'm thinking today, maybe he's just playing young because he's going to give Delo a go next year. Or maybe he's picking Jones because he's going to buy a centre-back in the summer. Maybe he's just picking Rashi all the time because God knows what. And it's not a good thing when a manager's only been given the job a few weeks ago and you're already, because you like him and you want him to be successful, making excuses for him.
Yeah, I do think there's an element of truth to that. But I think, you look at what he could have changed today. I mean, you're talking about Delo there. Maybe he's going to use him next year. But I think these are the sort of games that are the best sort of games to ease them in. The young players, the young lads. You don't really. A lot of people say chuck them in at the deep end and see how they go. But that can also knock a young player's confidence absolutely to rock bottom if they don't do well. So I think he's missed a trick here. I really do. I think playing this set of players, they've shown, not just this season, but even some of them from last season and the season before that, they're just not good enough for Manchester United whatsoever. I mean, Mata, you could probably argue the point that we're begging him to stay. So we got to play him in the last 2 games to try and change his mind to sign a new deal. But that's the wrong way to go. That's the wrong mentality for me. You spoke about Lozano yesterday on the show going to Napoli already. That deal's virtually done. You're looking at Man City getting that Bruno Fernandes, trying to tie that up.
Yeah.
And what are we doing? What are we doing? We're just stagnant. We really are. We're just thinking, what we've got is as good as it's going to get, and let's just tie him down because it's the cheap option. But we got to spend money in the summer. I think if Ollie's going to succeed at this club, which I firmly believe he will, if he gets rid of everyone that's not good enough for this team. It's an absolute shower of shit, this team, for me, to be honest today.
Jamie, who messages me a lot on Twitter, he said, team news is shocking. We'll watch the United stand, but I'm all about the snooker today. Screw those inconsistent players. And it's not it's sad. It's not the first time I've heard people saying that. Sanchez is only playing for the shop window, says Joel Abraham. I think a lot of people watch things and start thinking the same. I just saw him on the telly as well, and I was like, Are we playing him to put him in the shop window? Marcus, I agree with the attitude issues at the club. Herrera unfairly dropped. Do you think this can be resolved going forward, says MUFC Reese Russell? I'll come back to that. And new member, welcome to Tristan Palianti Roberts. Remember, you can join and become a United Stand member. Get your badge and access to the emojis. Just click the join button below. Yeah, I want to talk about Alexis Sanchez, but let's get your opinions on Ander Herrera. I thought he looked like a player coming back from injury last week, but his effort levels were great. We saw Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come on the pitch and almost apologetically shake hands with him, and then he's dropped. And the only reason I can think he's been dropped is because this week he said it's on the players.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think there's an element of truth to that. It is the players have got to take some responsibility. They really have. Not everything is always down to the manager. Obviously, the manager sets the tactics and picks the team and etc. But the players have got to go out there and deliver. And you think that this set of players, this internationals as well, they've got a job to do. They've got to go out there and play for the badge and play for themselves, play for the club, play for the manager to show that they back him. So I think Herrera, as much as I hate to say it, I think the damage has been done. I think he's definitely off in the summer, which United really are stupid because we're messing about trying to sign Jones, Smalling, Ashley Young to new contracts, Mata, and we're letting our one player that people would say gets the best out of Pogba in that midfield three, and we're letting him go. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, yeah, for me, the damage has been done. And to be honest, I wouldn't blame some of these players if they didn't want to stick around. The De Gea's, they've given an awful lot to the club. De Gea's been player of the season, 4 or 5 times since he's been here, possibly more. I think he's done his duty. He's given the club a fantastic service. So I'm not against De Gea. Well, I am against De Gea leaving, but if he wants to leave, it's he has my blessing, to be honest.
Kieran says, everyone keeps talking about our amazing youth. Name our successful youth players from the last 20 years. Kieran, you've nailed this on. We've not spoken about this for a long time, but the youth since the class of 92 it's slim pickings. I mean, off the top of my head, John O'Shea, Darren Fletcher, Wes Brown, Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford. So, the class of 92 were a one-off. And we've spent a lot of money on youth, though. I think that's the thing. We've spent a lot of money on youth over the last 5 years. And I think some of it... I think it's a mixture of two things with the youth for me, Marcus, and everyone at home. It's like, maybe they're not good enough. Maybe they're not good enough. I agree with that. Maybe they're not good enough. But you're telling me what we're seeing week in, week out from people being paid 200 grand a week who are meant to be good enough. They're not. So that's the thing. I don't think fans are demanding the youth play because they feel that the youth is going to be the next set of class of 92. I think it's more about last 2 games of the season. They can't be any worse than the crap that's been on the pitch all season. Give us a bit of interest, give us a bit of exciting, and most important of all, let's find out whether they're good enough. Like, what we have found out is we already know Matic is not going to be good enough. We know Young's not good enough. We know Jones isn't good enough. We know Sanchez isn't good enough. And there's more. We know they're not good enough. So why not just give a youth player who might be good enough a chance? And if they're not good enough, so what? You can't be in any worse situation.
Well, exactly. I mean, at least if we bring in 1, 2, possibly even 3 of the youngsters in there, for today or next week's game, you add a bit of hunger to that team. You add a bit of desire, a bit of fight, which are probably the key ingredients that this team's been missing all season, But I think a lot of these players now are worried about some of the youngsters coming through because they're just thinking, this lad might show me up and show that I'm not worth the money, like. But Alexis Sanchez, I really don't see why he is in there today. For the life of me, I cannot see why. The paper talk is we're on about paying him half of his contract to get rid of him. So if that's the way the club are thinking and the way Ollie are thinking, what the hell are they playing him for? Last thing you want is for him to get injured because it's going to cost you more money going forward.
I personally, let's talk about Alexis Sanchez for a moment because it's very relevant. It's very rarely we get to see Alexis Sanchez, and Ollie doesn't normally pick him. Anket Moar says 65 points and you'd be 12th in the Championship. Shitty team. Craig McCullough Games HD. If De Gea goes, I wish him all the best. We got to think the last 6 years De Gea has saved us loads of points. Without him, we'd probably be under 10th. I agree with that. And Nick P says, Ollie used the term rebuild in his interview. As long as he knows that's we have to do and not just plug the gaps, I will back him all the way. Shano Christensen says, hey Mark, you say a lot that no Champions League next year result. There are players we can't attract in the summer. You can argue, are they really the players we want in our club then? Yep, good point. And Sal Bakari says, when your club is dying for a captain and Herrera is being shown the door, shambles. I want to see who gets the captaincy. Young is still here next season. Yep, it's a good point. Let's talk about Alexis Sanchez for a moment. This is probably not going to be the sort of thing that people want to hear. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll be here next season. I've said this a few times. He's on 400 grand a week. He's got 3 years left of his contract. How do you get rid of a player like that? You know, United would want at least 20 million for him, and then someone's got to pay him his wages. Why would he go somewhere people say, oh, surely he wants to play first team football. Oh, take a massive pay cut to play football. No, he won't. We aren't going to get rid of Alexis Sanchez. And I tell you what will happen. I think he's playing today because they want him to score a couple of goals against the crap opposition, and then they'll go, "Oh, look, this is what we want from Alexi. He can be the player we want next season." He'll never be the player we want. He won't ever be it. I've seen him in the flesh twice this season. He's lost a yard of pace, and he's just going to get worse and worse. But this is the problem with Manchester United. I don't think we're a ruthless club. I don't think we accept our mistakes. I think we will own our mistake, and it will continue to be a mistake next year. I think keeping Mata for another year is a sentimental mistake. Oh, Juan Mata's a nice guy. He writes a good vlog. Let's keep him. No, he's lost another yard of pace. He's on the decline. Oh, Phil Jones, Jonah. He's a top lad off the pitch. He's been here years. No, he's crap. Oh, Ashley Young. He's been here years. He's a nice guy. He's a good lad. No, he's crap. But the club won't make those sort of decisions. So I think, Marcus, that Alexis Sanchez will not be going anywhere because I don't think we can get rid of him. And I predicted this morning. I think he'll score a couple of goals today, and everyone will be going, "Oh yeah, he can be the player we want." And I won't be. I'm sorry. I don't think he ever will be.
No, I don't. I've got to say, mate, I'm in the camp where I'm hoping and praying that he's one of the first ones out the door in the summer. I really don't see.
It's true, mate. I really do.
Yeah. I think when this club's going to move forward, if Ollie's got a firm vision of how he wants this team to be, and I've seen it on Twitter this morning, I've read it in the papers. You know, he's in constant contact, talking with Woodward and whoever else. So I think if they're all on the same page, they've all got to agree that a lot of these players, you know, probably 8 or 9 of them at least, are not good enough, and they've got to go out the door. But Ollie says it is right what he says. It's not going to happen in one season, because I don't think United have ever, in my lifetime, brought in more than, say, 4 or 5 players in a transfer window. And we're talking, we need a complete rebuild, a complete restructure of the team. And we need people who suit the identity of Manchester United, and they've got to be what Ollie wants. And, you know, these players nowadays, I hate to say it, but I think a lot of these players now are more concerned about the wage packet than what they're trying to achieve in football. You know, I just think it's going to be a good couple of seasons before United challenge again. I really do.
I think that's it. I mean, let me just read these super chats first of all. MEFC Reese Russell says a youth player will bring in what this team lacks, which is work ethic that represents the club. Yeah. And Blake the Third says no Martial and Lingard on the bench, so Chong will definitely come on today. I hope so. And BRX Gaming says saw on Twitter that Pogba has won us 22 points this season. If we didn't get those, we would be 12th. I would flip that around, BRX Gaming, and say, well, shouldn't Paul? Why is that news? Thanks for the contribution, Jared Pesserman. Surely Paul Pogba should be getting us 20 points. 22 points. It's the sort of stuff I see Chelsea fans saying to me when I slag Hazard off. Wow, if you took Hazard out of our team, we wouldn't have all these goals and assists. But that's what he's there for. He's your best player, so that's what he should be there doing it. But no, going back to what you were saying there, totally agree. This job, unfortunately for us United fans, cannot be done in a summer. It's a big job. It is 2 or 3 years. The problem is, and I think where people are getting a bit stressed here, is that's if you've got the right man in charge with the right transfer budget and the right leadership skills and the ruthlessness to get rid of the players that shouldn't be here. And that's a big three ifs. Has he got the transfer budget? Is he the right person? And is he going to get rid of the right people and bring in the right people? And I think when people see Phil Jones, Ashley Young, Nemanja Matic in the team, amongst others, they think he didn't need to play those today. Is Ollie the right man, or is it going to be more of the same as what we've seen with people like Mourinho, where there's this obsession with players that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a legend of Manchester United, and also he's been relatively successful in football as a coach.
Yeah.
We're just football fans. The manager should outshine the fans with opinion every day of the week. But as we've seen over the last 6 years, people who say that are idiots, because David Moyes, United fans were saying certain things, Moyes was doing the opposite, Moyes got the sack, the fans were right. Louis van Gaal, United fans were saying certain things about certain players, and Van Gaal did the opposite and got the sack. Mourinho, United fans were saying certain things about certain players and the way we were playing, and Mourinho got the sack. So fans aren't stupid about their football club. And when United fans are saying the same things that they have been saying for 6 years, just different players and different scenarios, why are we doing this? Why is he keeping him? Why is he dropping him? Why is he captain? He's not good enough. And you can understand why some United fans are like, "This, I'm not falling for this trap again." And that's the concern. But as I've always said, for me, Ollie out is ridiculously unfair. I don't trust Ollie is ridiculously unfair. You've got to... This summer is key. Transfer Daily, watch it every Monday to Friday. But no, plugs apart, it is key. And on August the 8th, when the transfer window shuts and the new season starts, and we've got rid of the wrong players, and we've not bought much in, and we're still playing the same crap that's playing today, that's when it really starts to go, right, well, he's had his summer now. He's still using them same players. That's when you can start to say, well, he's got no excuse of not having a summer now. But I think you've got to give him that summer.
I think you have to, yeah. I mean, he's coming up to, 5 months now, I think, in the job. Took over in December when the club was virtually on its knees. What was we, like, double figures, weren't we, away from a top 4 position?
Yeah. Well,
so
we're still technically in a top 4 race as well today.
Yeah, I mean, he's done well.
We took that.
He's done well getting us back in there, back into contention for it. It's just a shame. I do think, though, fatigue is playing a major part in this. I think when you've got a team that's played half of a season, well, they've played 2.5 years under Mourinho, being one of the most laziest teams in the Premier League, and then you get a guy come in wanting to make sure that they outrun their opponents, for 5 months. And I think you've got to expect a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of tiredness creeping into their game. And I think it's playing a major part now because these players, they've been lazy for so long, just turning up, doing a couple of hours training, collecting their pay packet and then going home. They're not used to having to actually work now for their money. They're not used to having to actually play proper football the Manchester United way, which they've got to play with energy. They've got to play with tenacity. They've got to make the runs forward. They've got to cover the distance. So, yeah, I do think tiredness is definitely starting to creep in. Ollie's mentioned it a couple of times in his last few press conferences, and I think it's pretty obvious to see. But with these group of players, the class that some of these players have, you would expect them to push past that, give that extra 10, 15%, and absolutely run their heart out for the club, considering that no one really wants to play in the Champions League at the minute. Everyone seems to want to play in the Europa League. So
yeah, we need to keep an eye on that because Chelsea are playing at the same time as us, don't we? And then they got Arsenal tonight. I mean, Ollie will take less dollars in the summer to sell the Deadwood, says Jared Pesserman. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that, Jared. And RMHYT says, I think why Ollie can't use the young lads is because the players, if they don't get Champions League football, they will get 25% cut of their wages. Interesting, yeah, we've heard about that. And Nick P says, we give players too much credit thinking they move to clubs based on the Champions League qualification. It's at least 4th on the list of priorities, just below appearance fees and goal bonuses. You might be right, Nick, and that might be a very sad reflection. There's a few people talking about Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is injured, and that's why he's not playing. Simple as that. Arsenal are playing Brighton at 4th. I think that's a nailed-on win for Arsenal. I think Burnley away is the one where they could drop points. Chelsea, Watford. I think we need Chelsea not to win that. But I find it so hard to talk about top four, Marcus, because I just if we finish in the top four, we deserve it, because over 38 game season, you get what you deserve. Yeah. But also we don't deserve it because we've dropped so many points, and basically we've been terrible this season. What we're hoping for is that other clubs will be worse than we are. We've not had a good season. I mean, who buys? I mean, I remember like probably 90. I'm trying to think how old I was. I think I got my first one when I was about 13 or something like that. So from the mid 90s all the way through to probably about 2012. Yeah, it would have been. I always used to get it. I'd get it at Christmas after the season. So the season ends in May, and it'd be on my Christmas list after that. The season review DVD. Who the bloody hell's been buying United season review DVDs for the last 6 years? People with insomnia, depressed. I mean, like, who in their right mind would want United season review this year? I mean, seriously, like, what is the review? I mean, people are talking about Player of the Year, Lindelof or Shaw, which is right, but it just shows you how bad the season's been. Sal Bakari says fatigue was always an issue. We should have bought in January. Yeah, remember who said that? Me. Jeff Darty, this lineup reveals how unbalanced and lacking in depth the first team squad is. Blame rests with the Glazers. Yeah.
John, that's a good point, that, because the four managers that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired, they've all had one thing in common. They've all had to deal with the Glazers and Woodward.
Yeah.
So, it's no surprise that what's coming out of the club and in the media about signings and things like that, it's no surprise to me that we're looking at cheap options, because if you look at Ollie, if what we believe is true and that he's going to have about 250 million transfer budget, you spend 100 million plus on Sancho and 100 million plus on Koulibaly, that's not enough. That is not enough. So I do think you're looking probably at the bargain basement set of players, the young upcoming players that probably have got a bit of talent about him, but I don't think we're going to be getting the ones that Ollie actually wants. He's going to be getting the next level down. Obviously Lozano's going to Napoli, and you look at similarities with other players in that position. What's about at the minute. I mean, that Bergwijn lad, Bailey. I mean, Dembele. You're looking at flops from other teams. Can we galvanise them players and make them play for Manchester United? I'm not so sure.
MUFC Reese Russell says Watford will beat Chelsea, either Decore or Deulofeu with the winning goal. Luke Shaw, man of the match for United today. De Gea will be better today. I have faith. Look, I'm going to say this right before kick-off, and this can be, people can clip it off or anything like that. United will win today, and they'll win comfortably. Rashford and Sanchez will play well today, and what will happen at full time is the flip-flop fans will go, "We're all right. We can. That's the two we need next season. Sanchez and Rashford. That's what we need to build around. Look at the way Pogba and Mata played today. We're right to keep Mata." I think it's all propaganda. I think today is about propaganda. If you played the youth, though, they would do as well or better than any of those players today. But what he's done is, he knows people don't want him to keep Mata, so he's playing Mata in an easy game. He knows he can't sell Sanchez and the fans want rid of him, so he's playing Sanchez in an easy game. He knows the fans are frustrated with Rashi, so he plays Rashi in an easy game. They'll all have good games today, and the flip-flops will go, "Oh, Ollie's right, they're good enough." We're playing bloody Huddersfield. If those three were playing against Chelsea or Man City, they'd be bang average like they always are. That's my prediction for today. I don't think we're going to learn anything from today. I think it's going to be a comfortable win. The only way this could go wrong is if we lose, which would be I just can't see it, Marcus, to be honest with you.
Well, do you know what? You can't see it, but I can. I'm a great believer in the teams that are relegated, or the lesser teams, not to be disrespectful to them, but I think they're the hardest games in the Premier League. When you get the top teams play each other, normally it's a good open game. But I think these Huddersfield lads, all right, some of them might be on the beach already preparing for next season, but they got a point to prove. They got pride to play for.
Well, we're up and running. We're 5 seconds in. Phil Jones has just won a header. And another header. Phil Jones has just won 2 uncontested headers. Oh, Brilliant start by Jones. And a tackle! Oh, Phil
okay.
Jones. Walk off the pitch now. You've won 2 headers and a tackle.
Bit of a strange way the centre backs are lining up. Normally it's Lindelof as the left-sided in it. Yeah, he's right today, and Phil Jones is the left-sided centre back.
I just think Huddersfield is such a bad team that will be comfortable.
I think again, playing a team that's got nothing to play for, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. I think they normally galvanise themselves to get a bit more effort out of the players, and Huddersfield, they got a new guy in charge as well, so they do have a bit of pride to play for. There's probably places in that team that's up for grabs, seeing as they're going into the Championship next season. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be as simple as you make out, mate, to be honest.
Well, Lucas says that Phil Jones is man of the match so far, which he is. He is. He's won 2 headers and a tackle. So Jonesinho, says Vandy Candy. It'd be interesting to see how Pogba does, because in a midfield 4, he should be getting forward a lot more. But obviously he's got Sanchez ahead of him. So will Sanchez be the issue? Nice ball into Pogba there.
Yeah.
It's through to the keeper.
Again, we want to see that from Pogba today. Not been seeing that lately, them driving runs forward, where he just picks the ball up and just goes for it. He's not been making the runs from midfield forward much either in the last few weeks. So hopefully, if it's the diamond, which it looks like it is, he's going to get a bit more of a free licence today.
Yeah.
The ball goes back to De Gea. De Gea as well, been in the news a lot recently. I do think he was at fault for the Chelsea goal. He should have done better with it. But like we said, we had 45 minutes in that second half to correct it, and we didn't take advantage. Pogba's picking up the ball from deep out to Ashley Young, who miscontrols it and puts it out for a throw.
Al Chavista, I agree with you. If you can't play the youth in a game like this, when can you play them? Yeah. People think we're going to start the season with the youth and he's waiting to do that. Yeah. See you in August. Not going to happen.
I look at Matt.
You know what we also must remember about this is, if we want top 4, you've got Cardiff and Huddersfield, who realistically, it's not... I don't want to mention Man City and Liverpool because, they're so far ahead, but I don't know who Huddersfield have played over the last 8 games, but I know they've played West Ham and a few other teams that on paper are a lot worse than us. And these teams have been averaging 3 goals. So,
yeah.
Minimum, we should be boosting our goal difference over the next 2 games by 7. I think one of them needs to get beat 4-0 and the other 3-0. And if we do that's a big boost to our goal difference if anybody slips up above us. So today isn't just about winning, it's about, getting a few goals.
Thing is though, Mark, the teams around us, the Arsenals and Chelseas, they've slipped up so many times, and we failed to capitalise on it. So would you trust this team today to go out and get 3 or 4 goals? I wouldn't.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say is I don't think winning 3-0 today is a great result. I think that's your minimum, I've said.
Yeah.
Because that's what Huddersfield's form is. Lose the game and concede 3 goals. So that's what we've got to do today.
Well, you look at the goals we've scored in April. I think the majority of them
from open play in 7 games. McTominay and Mata.
You look. I've got to say, Rashford's making these runs forward, but
here we go.
He doesn't look like he's moving freely. Sanchez taken out. That's one thing Sanchez does do well, though, I must say. He does draw in the fouls.
Roll around on the floor when he's not injured. Yeah. He's not hurt here. He's just a bloody diver. Look at him. It's a foul, but it's not. There's no major contact there. It's just about trying to get him booked. Arsenal mentality.
He does draw in the tackles for the free kicks.
Oh, is it? Who's going to be on the free kicks? It's free kick watch. Is it Rashi? You've got Pogba, Mata, Young. You've got
Rashi's
real technicians, but it's going to be Rashi. Here we go. Rashi on the free kicks. He'll score one day. Top Geezer says, I think we'll focus on getting our midfield forward lines bolstered in the summer to be greater threat and then look at the defence over the following 2 seasons. Hence why we have renewed many defenders' contracts. Interesting pointing, Top Geezer. Would you take Aubameyang and Lacazette at United as Rafael Moura? You'd be stupid not to. Straight at the keeper, Rashford on free kicks again. I can't say anything more about this.
I mean, you see the on Twitter the woman in the stands when Rashford was taking our free kicks, so it says it all really. But you had Mata ran that free kick, you had Pogba on that free kick, and Ashley Young. I mean, those three can probably deliver. Well, I'd say Mata and Pogba could definitely deliver a better free kick than what Rashford could.
Well, Ian Soldier said he scored against Cardiff. Yeah, coincidentally, that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge, and there seems to be this stubbornness that... But how many free kicks has he had since Cardiff? 99? It's just... There's a stubbornness about this free kick thing, and I don't get it. And you know what it is about Rashford's free kick? You know what the whole point of it is? It's about causing the keeper a problem with swerve and dip, so it bounces off him. So you're still counting on the goalkeeper, on a player following it up. You're not going to beat. He's not going to hit a Ronaldo free kick. That one against Cardiff wasn't even brilliantly hit. I think it just caught the keeper out, didn't it? But the free kick thing is a joke. I can't even get mad about it anymore. It's a joke. We're getting bantered by rival fans for it, and you know that it's bad when that happens. But United started off quite well. Cully says it's boring. No, it's scintillating stuff.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off this game. But Pogba with a long ball out there to Ashley Young on the right side. Ashley Young, he can't even get his passes right.
McTominay's just been chopped down there. I thought it might have been a yellow card actually.
Well, he was quite away from the ball. Could have been an early yellow. Who's the ref today? Is that Mason?
No, bold though, isn't he?
Yeah. It's
why play the youth in a struggling team that is not playing well? Surely that could knock confidence, and let's not forget we don't have a great record against Huddersfield, says Alfie Thomas. Yeah, fair point. Here we go. Right, go on, McTominay, have a shot. Yeah. He scored!
Goal.
McTominay! Well done. Have a shot, and he scores 1-0. I think the keeper makes a bit of an error on it. Scott McTominay, the brilliant player that he is, the new Messi for United. But if you don't take a shot, you don't score a goal. I would have to see this back. It was just typical shit Huddersfield, to be honest with you.
Do you know what? I think Mata played a major part in that. He got
it's a back
blocked
pass
off
by
in the
Huddersfield.
midfield.
Oh, fair play to McTominay. He actually drives forward with it on the box,
shot,
goes past his man, and it's a shot. Keeper makes a bloody error, but we don't mind about that.
Right. 1-0 for United on his left foot as well.
Goalkeeper, isn't it?
Yeah, goalie should save that. Wow.
Never in a million years with Rashi on free kick, says Shivis Singh. Well, we're 1-0 up. We've scored a goal from open play, and McTominay has scored again away from home.
Player of the month again, I think.
Yeah, player of the month. In May. Goal of the month for April as well. I've got to change the score.
It's been a decent start by United.
It's hard. You know what? I know there's a lot of people like this as well. It's hard to get really excited about United at the moment, isn't it? It is. We're at that stage where we've just had a long, hard season. We're very frustrated. We're very shit. And we just got to try and get as many goals as we can in this game.
Well, like you said, I mean, the minimum's got to be 3.
It's good that we've got the early goal, though. A goal in the first 10 minutes. And I thought McTominay took it well, to be fair.
Yeah, he did.
It's a good connection.
On his left foot.
Keeper's made a bloody error, but it's awkward for the keeper, to be fair. And to be fair, McTominay's a midfielder, and what I would say in coaching is if you are an aspiring footballer or you're still playing football, they always teach you to do that. It's about you shoot at the goalkeeper's legs because the goalkeeper's legs are always moving. So good technique.
Sanchez, Rashford's through. No, a little bit too much on the pass, but good idea. McTominay's playing like a pit bull at the minute.
Yeah.
All over the place, man.
But you know what I would say about that? There's no performance today that I will go, oh, they're amazing. It's bloody Huddersfield. Huddersfield are absolutely terrible. Every United player, for what we pay them, should be getting, when we do the player ratings later, it should be at least 8 for all of them. because that's how bad Huddersfield are. You think about what a City would do to this. They'd probably be 9-0 up already. They're not a good side, but at least we're 1-0 up.
Huddersfield look like they're just trying to contain at the minute. They're still trying to get into the game. It's all been United in this first 10 minutes. They're stroking the ball about, but they're getting plenty of space to do what they want with the ball as well. Huddersfield not closing down. Sanchez done well there. Got round the back, across, Rashford, corner.
I thought it was going to be a goal there.
Yeah. I mean, United really have come out of the blocks here. But, like you said, it is only Huddersfield.
Just trying to change the score, people, here, and I can't find... Here it is. There we go. 1-0 to United.
Ball comes in. Mata free corner. Lindelof got his head on it, but it was blocked. Mata again. Ball comes in. Go on, McTominay. Go for it again. Oh.
Shoots. That's it.
Yeah. Corner on the opposite side. United have really come out flying, for such a team that we all spoke about before kick-off, moaning about the team. They've actually come out flying at the minute, but the opposition are helping us because they're not closing down quickly enough. They're quite content, Huddersfield, to sit in their half and try and do a bit of damage.
That should be two. Oh,
it could be McTominay.
Oh. Lindelof first, wasn't it?
The Huddersfield look at 6s and 7s at the back here at the minute. What's that free kick?
Aristocrat says, not impressed, it's only Huddersfield. Well, and Raid says Huddersfield are shocking. I said it before the game. I don't think we won't learn anything today. You can't say it about United because we're capable of losing to anyone and we're capable of beating anyone because we're so inconsistent. But realistically, Huddersfield should be minimum 3-0 and 3 points. That's the minimum we should expect. They are so bad, that's what we should get. But you just don't know with United what's going to happen, do you? But
a big difference I'm seeing in Pogba today is he's actually laughing and got a smile on his face today. Don't normally see that.
Such an easy game.
Well, I was just going to say, it's probably because what you said there, the inconsistencies of the team. Good ball by Rashford. Actually, he ain't got the legs to get on that, though. But United trying to use the flanks.
Jazz and Deep says you've got to beat who's in front of you. That's the problem, mate. Yeah, it's all, Huddersfield, you can only beat what's in front of you. Did we beat Chelsea last week when we needed to beat them? Did we beat Man City? Did we beat Everton? Did we beat Wolves? No. That's why we're not getting top 4 at the moment. We always knew that the end to our season was brilliant. Huddersfield and Cardiff should be guaranteed 6 points. If we'd have been in control of top 4, it would have been brilliant. And we should have been. We should have been in control of it, but we're not now. So we've just got to beat what's in front of us and hope that other teams slip up. It's all United. It's all United. Huddersfield are just, they're 1-0 down and they're penned in. They're off.
Luke Shaw's getting a lot. That's another free kick, surely. Yeah.
Luke
Shaw's getting a lot of joy on that left-hand side. He's in acres of space down there.
This should be Mata 2-0 from here. Free kick on Rashford on the edge of the box. They're terrible, Huddersfield. They're just flying into tackles. I think they'll struggle in the Premier League, in the Championship. They're that bad.
Mata, Pogba, Sanchez is over this.
Rashford's not on this.
Yeah.
Mata. This is Mata 2-0. This is where Mata's brilliant at this. Up over the wall, top corner.
He's got plenty of time to get the dip on it.
Yeah. Sanchez might ball hog it though.
Yeah, Sanchez is looking at that as well.
Mata,
into the wall.
It's a little bit stop-start this game, isn't it?
It is a bit. Couple of niggly fouls going in, which I think will probably play into Huddersfield's hands.
Free kick. It was a free kick. Mata was a bit late there, but no malice intent in that. I tell you what, it would be. obviously we all want Manchester United to win. I don't think for anybody's frustration, I don't think anybody doesn't want United to win. And whatever happens if we do win, as far-fetched as it might be, we will go into next Sunday with everyone kicking off at 3:00 with a chance of top four. I don't think it's impossible, because Everton play Spurs. If Everton beat them and we beat Cardiff, we finish above Spurs. If Burnley beat Arsenal, we'd finish above them. And if Chelsea lose to Leicester, but I don't know how many points Chelsea have actually got.
Do you know what? Look at this attack of 2, 4, 6 United players going for that attack, and Huddersfield got 8 back, I think.
I think we're definitely trying to get the goals, which is good.
We are, yeah. I was worried beforehand where the goals would come from, but United are making strides, looking to go forward at every opportunity.
I think JJ Power's been on the drink. He says, let's cut the crap. Pogba and De Gea are going nowhere, and Sancho and Koulibaly are coming in this summer. You keep drinking, mate. But
I'll have whatever he's having.
I'll have what he's having. So I'd love that. I'd love that to happen, I must admit. But Rashford technique on dead balls is great. You are clueless about football, says Moada. Another one who's been on the drink. Kante's injured for Chelsea. That's a big blow for them if it's a bad one. Arsenal fans will be rubbing their hands together because they're the Europa League.
I'll have a check actually on the.
I think it's 0-0.
Yeah, Sky Sports app and have a look. Huddersfield, another foul there by Matic.
Yeah, Kante's gone off for Chelsea, says Twali.
Yeah. Apparently, Watford had a good chance 10 minutes into the game with Deeney.
Watford are a good team, and we were very lucky to beat them at Old Trafford 2-1.
Yeah. Apparently, I just had another one as well. Yeah. But still 0-0 in that game. 17 minutes gone. Pogba's, I think, just
drawn a foul.
Drawn in, yeah.
I don't know whether it was a foul, to be honest.
Do you know, I think he got the ball there.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, definitely a foul.
As bad as that one we saw. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's laid it off Rashford. Oh.
Boring game so far, says Mark Dapp. Well, you were 1-0 up after 17 minutes. You don't get that very often. You want the world, you do.
Matic going forward with somebody on the right and having the United corner. United are all over Huddersfield, Matter's running to the corner.
I was going to say, Matter's running to take the corner like it's the last minute, because we're clearly trying to score goals. I mean, which is an obvious end point in football, but obviously if we could come away with 4 or 5 goals, it would help.
Ball in.
I can't believe we lost twice to this team in the recent past, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. I can remember us losing once. Have we lost twice? I remember us losing last year because it was Lindelof made a mistake, didn't he? Jones went off injured and Lindelof made a mistake. But I can't remember us losing another time. I tend to try and blank those things out, to be honest. But another corner here. Ashley Young's on it. It's 2 decent corners, to be fair.
Yeah. I think that went out before it... But,
it's boring because it's one-sided, says Gabriel. Yeah, well, we can't help the fact that Huddersfield are shit. Like, they've got 14 points. They're one of the worst teams in Premier League history. They're crap. They've lost 8 games in a row. They're really, that's what I mean. There's not a lot to learn from this. If United won 7-0, it doesn't mean we're going to win the league next year. It just means Huddersfield are crap. So they are terrible. McTominay scored, ran it into the box and hit it, which is what we were shouting before he did. Straight at the keeper. Keeper probably should do better, but I think there's not enough United players who shoot from distance, and I think McTominay's shown a willingness to do that. So fair play to him.
Well, he did put in a good goal against Wolves, didn't he, from distance? I think that one was outside the box.
I wouldn't worry if Chelsea drew today. Because I think Leicester will get at least a point last game of the season, because Leicester will lose to City tomorrow. And they're fighting for 7th, aren't they? And they're a good team, Leicester.
But United just seem to have dropped off a bit now.
Well, at least we'll have, if we can win this game, which we will, be excited. At least we'll have some excitement next week for the last game of the season. We probably still won't get top 4, but at least we can be excited and think, "Oh, we could get top 4."
Yeah.
Ain't keeping that in.
Oh dear.
Oh
So,
yeah,
I
we've
mean,
got the. I should have said that at the time. We actually do have the McMayonnaise emoji as well. Let's see some appreciation from McMayonnaise. If you remember, you get access to the exclusive emojis. I'm sure some of the members can put up them there for you. If you want to be part of the United Stand membership club, just click the join button. You get your name in green. You get badges for each month you're a member, and you get access to the emojis, which we change all the time. It's a nice little flick back there. And
I'll tell you what,
Pogba doesn't take advantage of it from Sanchez, but he's won it back. Oh, look at it. Look at Sanchez. This is the player we bought. He's going to be a brilliant signing for United. Oh, he's brilliant. It's Huddersfield. Twitter will be awash with this, Marcus, though. This is what makes me laugh about Sanchez. There will be United fans out there going, look at Sanchez. This is the position. This is where he should be playing. It's Huddersfield, for God's sake. If you want, I'm sure Sanchez would be a brilliant player in the Championship because that's where Huddersfield belong.
Yeah, and he is playing out on that wide left again as well.
To be fair to him, he's putting more effort in than bloody Martial and Lingard do.
Yeah, he has, yeah. I mean, he is running around. I mean, Huddersfield are in there, cleared away. But he is running around, getting his foot in. He's doing quite well. He is doing quite well in the opening exchanges. 22 minutes.
Ankit says, Ankit Mawar, to give him his full name, he says, how long before we say we are noisy neighbours? Young as a captain is a sign towards that for sure. Well, Manchester will always be red, no matter how successful Man City are, because Man City are bought. They haven't got many fans, Man City.
Oh. Well, they're all Chelsea fans or something beforehand as well.
Yeah.
Pogba, good
Rashford
ball over
again,
the top. Rashford. You know what? Rashford's made 3 or 4 good runs forward there. It's just been the final pass has just been a little bit overhit or underhit. But he's looking. What do you think about
Sanchez? I won't shout the name out because you might get abused. But the comment was Sanchez is showing real heart. It's amazing what you can do when you're being paid 400 grand a week, isn't it? Oh, he's such a trooper, Sanchez, isn't he? He's showing such heart. Yeah. Such a motivator, Alexis Sanchez. I can't think what it is that gets him motivated.
And what do you think about Rashford leading the line next season, Mark? And do you think we need?
Wait, what is he doing there? Well, bloody nearly scored.
Yeah, weren't far wide.
I don't know who it is for Huddersfield, but he does well. But he's got 2 passes here. He can slip people in, and he goes for some shot, which it's greedy.
I think, De Gea's comfortable with that.
He's got 2 runners ahead of him, this Huddersfield player, and he tries to shoot from 30 yards. Poor. That's why you're going down. You're crap.
Here come United again with McMayo.
There's a rule.
Rashford, ball in.
We're trying that a lot, aren't we? That ball just skipping in behind their back 4.
Yeah. If that Huddersfield player had just quickly touched that off to the guy on the right-hand side, Ashley Young was miles out of position there. They would have been in behind.
You see, we are actually pressing quite well today, but again, it's hard. It's impossible to judge United against a team like this.
It's almost like sometimes, here's Pogba.
There should be a goal.
Rashford, Mata. Should be 2.
I thought he'd scored there. It was a nice play from United. Pogba into Rashford into Mata. You think he's just going to whip it in the bottom corner, and a player of his quality, you do.
There's a good layoff from Sanchez there on the left-hand side. 1 touch into Pogba.
I think he should score from there, Mata. He's just on the edge of the box, but he should hit the target, yeah. But as I said, it's good play from United. It is good play, but as I say, it's very hard to gauge when you're up against a team that's so crap.
Already 7 attempts for United in 25 minutes, 2 on target.
Red Baron says that Mad Marcus is like that uncle we all have. Yeah. Apparently, there's a myth that he's younger than me, but he is like your uncle.
I'll take that as a compliment, that one.
Yeah, I don't know how you should take it.
Because I hate my uncle. Oh dear. But
I'm still very surprised. I know we're winning, and you get lost in that positivity quite rightly. I'm still absolutely stunned that Ander Herrera was dropped for today.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Sanchez, back post.
Pogba.
Oh, Pogba. Oh.
Could he have gone with his head here? It's a good cross from Sanchez off the right.
Yeah.
Off the right, I must say. Sanchez, why does Sanchez not play off the right? It's a good cross from Sanchez. And I wonder whether Pogba could have gone with his head. Oh, I think he could have gone with his head.
He could have, yeah.
He goes with his foot, and I think he could have gone with his head. It's a nod down. In fact, Daz Savage Sweet says exactly that. Why did he not go with his head? It looked like it was a nod down. Welcome Ankit Mawar, the latest member of the club. Sanchez, man of the match so far. Yeah, well, player ratings, I think every player should be 7 or above for once, because against this opposition, if you can't express yourself, you really need to go and play in League One.
Phil Jones mistimed a header there, but it's fine. It's out to safety. I think Ashley Young, little drag back.
I think even Ashley Young's gone past the 4.
Yes.
He's hovering around a 5. Kevin Mole says, pointless game, 2 terrible sides. It'll be 2-0 in a minute. Sure. I mean, I suppose that's the only thing you could be critical of United about, Marcus, really. It shouldn't be 1-0. We should be comfortably 2 by now. It
should be 2, yeah. You look at that opportunity by Pogba just now, the Mata chance as well. Mata's on the ball here. Ashley Young, get it at your feet, get it in. No. Sanchez, plenty of space. Make a run for it. Go at him. All across Mata, McTominay.
Shoot.
Yeah. This is the thing, Mark. You touched on it just now. I mean, why are we not shooting from distance here? Rashford, they're trying. There's a lot of back heels here as well. What's with United playing this fancy back heel pass?
Well, their keeper's just made an absolute stinking mistake against McTominay. Fair play to McTominay, not taking anything away from him. And we're getting chances to shoot from the edge of the box. We're not taking him. You know, keeper makes a big error. What do? You try and make him do it again.
Yeah. I mean, for McTominay's shot, he tried to save it with his knees, didn't he? So
he's good, this player for Huddersfield. I don't know who he is. We're just going to call him Orange Boots.
The ball over the top. Lindelof.
Well done, Lindelof.
Got that covered.
There was a nod down.
It's,
Sahel Kasim's right. Why are we overcomplicating things? Just keep it simple. Exactly.
Yeah, too many fancy back heels inside in the penalty area. United they're quite comfortable, United. I mean, Huddersfield not really troubled or threatened De Gea in any way. Saying that, they're coming forward now. Pogba and Luke Shaw out of position here, but they're back. Sanchez chasing down. I think the ball's coming out. Huddersfield are in. They're in behind. Ball over.
Well done, Lindelof.
Oh. I'd have been worried if he'd got his head on that one. Pogba just give away a free kick with a high foot.
I'd say at the moment we're making hard work of this. I really would.
It is, yeah.
I think the second goal and the game's over, and it's Orange Boots again. He's doing well. Who's Orange Boots? Ashley Young had a chance to look like prime Cafu today, but Young will always be young. And that was from Sharith Kamath Fitness. And Adam K says, Mark, if we get in 5th and let's say Chelsea got 4th, do we get a Champions League spot because of the Europa League guarantee? No. I said this the other day and people thought it was a joke because I sometimes tell jokes on Twitter. So, if United finish 5th and Arsenal finish 4th and win the Europa League, or Chelsea finish 4th and win the Europa League, we don't get a Champions League spot. It goes to the 3rd place team in France. Don't ask. I don't make the rules.
That's a bit of a strange one,
isn't
it? Why does it go to France?
Don't know. But 5th place does not get Champions League football. There is no permutation where it can. It goes to 3rd place in France.
A long way
Orange
out
Boots.
here, but I think that's gone for a corner.
Yeah. Who is Orange Boots? Turn your back on us. Bakuna. Never heard of him. In my ignorance, I've never heard of Bakuna. But he's got something about him. I don't think he's a United... Yeah. Well, actually, he probably is a United player compared to the crap we've watched this season. But he's certainly the most... him and McTominay are the two standout players in the midfield so far. Cross comes in from Huddersfield. Well up by Rashford, to be fair. Win the first header, win the second. Yeah, good.
I just saw a stat there that half of Huddersfield's goals this season have all been scored from set pieces. So maybe something.
Jim Ross says Pogba can go now. Yeah, don't give away free kicks.
Yeah.
If he's giving a free kick, I'm going to stick up for Ashley Young here. If he's giving a free kick here, right, it's a 50-50 header, Ashley Young and a bloke who's not a hobbit. And the bloke who's not a hobbit falls over, and Ashley Young gets the free kick given against him. Ashley Young couldn't injure a butterfly. You know, that's not a free kick. So it's going to be another set piece here for Huddersfield. I think.
Do you know what? I don't think he pulled that up, you know. I think it's just because it's a head injury.
Ah, right. No, it's not a free kick then.
A feeling and Solskjaer having a word with Pogba.
Bakuna Matata. I must admit, I thought the same thing, Huggy Bear, when someone said that. Lion King.
Oh, what? Did anyone see that? Phelan was getting really stuck into Pogba there on the sideline.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, pointing his finger at him and everything.
I'm past all this Pogba nonsense, but what I would say, for those people who want Pogba out, I mean, it's Huddersfield. He's a World Cup winner. He's I think he can be one of the best midfielders in the world. Has he filled himself in glory in this half an hour? No. You know, these are the sort of games where Pogba should just be grabbing hold of the game. But, having said that, so should Alexis Sanchez. So should Marcus Rashford. So should Juan Mata. It's unfair that it's always on Pogba, but, you know, have the real quality players in this game so far grabbed hold of it? No, they haven't. I think United's standout performers have been people like Scott McTominay. That'll be a foul.
That's a foul, yeah. That's
Phil
probably
Jones.
A yellow there for that.
He's not. I don't think he's going to give him a
No.
yellow.
Was that Luke Shaw? I think he is. He's going for a yellow, I think. Well, that was Jones.
Yellow card.
Yeah.
Calamity Jones.
There's his first mistake of the game.
That was a Goldbridge tackle, that. David Mills says, Alan Green on 5 Live just said Man United are down to 10 men because Pogba is just dancing around doing nothing. And Mr. Clin99, Norwegian commentator, just said fans should be pleased United's off game is bubbling. What a load of bull. They're trying to heel flick a walk-in or two when they should be freshly grinding out 5 or 6. And Rashi is not Lewandowski type of player that United desperately need. And that was from Amsterdam 87. I look, United 1-0, but we're only 1-0 up because McTominay, you know, played the percentage game and thought, yeah, I'll have a shot. We didn't carve them open, and you know, a shot is a, you know, what's the percentages of scoring a long shot? Probably 20-30%, and that's why we're 1-0 up. We haven't carved Huddersfield open yet, and we've been playing for 33 minutes. I think we're overdoing it and underdoing it. There should, you know, some of the better players need to grab hold of these sort of games. It's bloody Huddersfield, and Huddersfield, to be fair, Marcus, in the last 10 minutes have got into it far more.
They have, yeah. They've had a couple of opportunities there. They've had a set piece from free kick, which was by Phil Jones. They've had a corner as well that caused us problems. But I mean,
McTominay's man of the match, but how predictable is that? Somebody who just puts in loads of effort, man of the match. Again, it's got to stop. You know, fair play to McTominay, but he's man of the match because he puts effort in. And that just shows you the problem with United. All these players who are way better than McTominay, you know, they are way better than him, let's be fair. And they're paid a lot more than him. But he's outshining them because he actually is committed.
No, United are a bit penned in here in their half. Huddersfield getting a lot of throw-ins over on that left-hand side.
The only way Jones will leave United is if Icardi came in and stole his wife. Says Aaron Manchakunda. And then he says hashtag Icardi in. We just need to be a bit careful in this game because the last thing we want to do is get back bloody equalising. Chong on at half time, says Missouri Gaming. Well, Huddersfield
do
are
you know
actually
what?
doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, I think United are doing okay at the minute.
Here we go. Come on, Pogba, stretch those legs.
This is what we want.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's
I
not
thought
a
that was a
foul.
foul.
But come on.
No, good tackle, Matic.
No,
See
not
another
a
back
foul
heel.
for me.
Works that time. Brandau says that, Mark, when you have time to take a look at Rafinha from the same team as Bruno Fernandes, who's brilliant talent, we shouldn't give up on Martial. He's a talent. I don't think we will give up on Martial. I think he's just he's had a kick up the arse. I think if Martial has been dropped completely, that's the perfect timing. Don't play him for the rest of the season. Give him a kick up the arse. Let him go and stew on it over the summer when he goes on holiday, and then hopefully he comes back pre-season with the right attitude and it never happens again. I think that's correct management. If he isn't injured and he has just been dropped, I think that's brilliant management. But we'll see. He might be playing again next week. In which case, it's too short. Rashford again. Timing's wrong.
It's just a little. That pass is it's either over hit or under hit at the minute.
I don't know whether Rashford's looking for a penalty here, but it definitely isn't a penalty because the goal actually does get a touch.
I think he's looking for a corner there. No, it's not a corner. Keeper firmly had two hands on the ball. No, he didn't actually, but
I think we've got a corner, haven't we?
I think
no
possibly. No, goal kick. So Huddersfield last 10 minutes, 55% possession. United's 45.
United just need to start playing simple football here.
Yeah. I mean, Huddersfield, they are there for the taking. Not really. Well, De Gea's not had a save to make yet.
And, we're playing Mata in a number 10 position, and he should be running the game as well. We're, not getting him on the ball enough. Just simple. Knock the ball into Mata. And he'll find the passes for Sanchez and Rashford.
I mean, we're that far forward. Even Jones is going across the halfway line. United they are looking threatening, United, when they go forward. You do think there's more goals to come.
Oh, Rashi's doing the Lukaku thing now. Oh, you're slowly turning into bloody Lukaku, Rash. They're going like this now. Oh, don't, please. He's been hanging around for them for too long. His first touch has gone to crap, and now he's clapping people's crosses. That's a poor ball by Jones.
Yeah.
He needs to be careful, Jones.
Ball over. Huddersfield are in.
Be careful, Jones. Don't do anything stupid. Oh!
Cross. Oh,
good cross by Lindelof. Well, good defending by Lindelof, that. He's given a goal kick as well.
Yeah, I think Mbenza, it is, nearly got his toe in that. A ball across the face of goal.
I thought Phil Jones was going to dive in there. I thought, oh, glad he's got a yellow. Megged him on the cross.
Yeah.
I think that was a corner.
I think that's a corner.
Well done, Lindelof. It was a corner, but at least we didn't have to give it up.
United go again. So they're slowing the tempo down now, which is probably the wrong way to go. I mean, Huddersfield are there for the taking.
Welcome, Dave Whitehead, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I'm gonna pop and have a wee in a minute. Just don't want to miss a goal. Bakuna again. He's having such a good game. De Gea, good save.
De Gea. There we go.
Why didn't he hit that on the volley then? That Huddersfield player. Coward.
De Gea with a great save there. United run done.
Bakuna again. Yeah, who is it gets caught here? It's Jones. Jones with a shit pass out the back. That's not Mata's fault. De Gea makes a good feat with his save. And why does this player not just whack it on the volley? That's why you're getting ready to get in Huddersfield. The ball drops to this Huddersfield player. I mean, it's a high ball, but he's in the box. It's dropping to him, and he does a little head. Just smack it with your foot. Pogba's moved as much as that ambulance top right, says Buster Suggett.
What is that? Oh.
No, I thought that was going to go out as well.
Yeah, I thought that as well. I thought that was supposed to have been a crossfield pass to Luke Shaw that was nowhere near him. But I just had a bit of a wake-up call there. Go on, Luke, get it across. Out for a throw-in, far side.
Good save, De Gea, though.
Yeah, good save with his right foot. But really, Huddersfield should not have even had that chance there. trying to play it out from the back. United really can't play it out from the back. Huddersfield pushing forward again. United back to the halfway line.
Well, that chance from Huddersfield came from Phil Jones.
Yeah.
And a terrible pass out from the back. Very reminiscent of that Wolves game, wasn't it? Where De Gea knocked it into Fred and he got robbed. Chelsea are 1-0 up as well. So it's not going United's way, is it? We're not scoring the goals that we should be scoring in this game. And Chelsea are 1-0 up. Remember, Chelsea rested Hazard in the Europa League game for today. They ain't stupid. They know that their best chance is well, not their best chance, but they know top four's in their hands and they're not messing around with it. Lindelof is such a classy centre-back. Only good signing Mourinho made, says Ryan FTW. Pogba, onto the bar.
Off the bar. Rashford, nowhere near it.
I thought Rashford was going to get it on the end of that. It's a good header by Pogba. I don't know whether the keeper makes a save here. Cross comes in. It's Mata again, look. And that's where Pogba should be. That's onto the bar. I think the keeper had it covered, but it hit the bar. But Rashford's on his toes there. Rashford's not on his toes there. He's watching it. It's too late. You got to be moving. If you want to be a top striker, you got to move. We need the second goal here.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got to win. I think we've got to win by at least, based on the opposition, it's got to be at least 3-0. Realistically, 4-0.
Sorry,
Chelsea are not in front. Sorry, I fell for the live comments again. My mistake.
I think Huddersfield will probably make it a little bit harder in the second half. They've not been pressurising United enough.
Marcus, I'm just going to pop for a week. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. So, De Gea would have going back to that earlier save by De Gea and Pogba. Great header onto the bar, but like Mark said, goalkeeper probably had that covered. Chelsea is still 0-0, apparently, according to a lot of people in the comments. Chelsea is 0-0. Chelsea ain't leading. Chelsea not in front. Okay, all right. Cheers, guys. Pogba is back for a relegated side. It's looking that way, It is looking that way. But he's getting an awful lot of time on the ball as well. So, cheers, Joe. So Jones is MVP, says Andrew at the minute. I think Jones has played quite well so far. Hi, Ollie. We can't score if we have no shots, says Bob. Exactly. I think this keeper, we know Huddersfield keeper is dodgy by the goal that we've already scored, so just shoot on sight. See what he's got. We need Icardi, says Philip. Josh boy, how you doing? How comes we don't see you? Because the graphics, the studio, is built for one person, the main person. And that's obviously Mark. Hiya, Luca. First time watching. I hope it isn't. Chelsea is 0-0, says 8B Carl. Thank you. Hiya, Riley. Joshy boy. They're both playing bad, says you Kung. What minute you on? Seems like 20 minutes. Seems like 20 plus behind, says Mike Leanan. We are on 44 minutes now. So, good cross by Huddersfield, says Sophie. Yep. Jack Brady says hi. Everyone's saying hi. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Chunky Eyes says, Marcus, we need a good summer window. We do. We need a massive clear out as well. Massive clear out. And I think if the Glazers, Rashford took a bit of a bang on the head here from a high foot. Rashford's down at the minute. Phelan and Solskjaer just having a word with Ashley Young on the sidelines. Having a bit of a drink. But, I think if Solskjaer's the man for Woodward and the Glazers, then they've got to show that by giving him a substantial amount of money. And they've got to back his decisions. Mark's gone for a poo, says Hursty. Maybe. He's taken a while, hasn't he? Hi, Dylan. Take him off, says Missouri Gaming. Who, Rashford? Don't take Rashford off. We ain't got no one else to bring on. Gunky says Marcus has no physical body. He's like a DT. We mere mortals only hear his disembodied voice. That's a good one. Who would I sell? Oh, Morris. Who would I sell? Well, let's see. Young, Darmian, Valencia's going, obviously. I'd get rid of Jones.
What's happened to Rashford?
He just took a high foot in the head, mate. He's all right, though.
All right.
He's all right.
Sorry, I nearly didn't come back. I was like, oh. Half time nearly then. I mean, we'll talk about it at half time, but did I miss anything in the last couple of minutes?
No, mate, no. He's literally, as soon as you went, about 10 seconds after, well, about 20 seconds after, he took the high foot and that was it. He's been on the ground most of it. But no, you've not missed anything major.
Are you parking down at the thing? All right.
Rashford's in, round the back, cross, and it's slid out by Huddersfield for a throw-in on the far side. Chelsea are 0-0 apparently.
Yeah. I think we need to just start shooting from long distance more.
Yeah, I mean, spoke about it while you was away. I think goalkeeper made a hash of the goal. So, yeah, he's obviously not comfortable. I mean, if he can't save something that's right at him, then, yeah, go shoot on sight. See what his handling's like. We've not really tested him since the goal's gone in, to be fair.
Yeah, Chelsea are 0-0, and it's about half time there. I mean, that would be a good result for us.
Yeah. And
it's the battle of who's shit, though, isn't it? Really, in the race for top four. Well done, McTominay. I think McTominay would be a good player for Huddersfield, and I don't mean that that's going to come across in the wrong way. But he's had that sort of midfield performance that you would expect from a Burnley midfielder or a Huddersfield. You know, it's something we don't have, and I know people will take that in the wrong way. But I don't mean it in the wrong way. But what I mean is, if you stick a player in a United team who's full of effort and desire and passion, they stand out like a sore thumb as a good performer.
Yeah. I'll say, well, it's not a bad corner there. United were caught out.
Yeah, Rashford blocking it.
Yeah. And that's half time.
Didn't even get the second corner. So United 1-0 at half time. I'm tempted to say they're good for it, but actually I think Huddersfield in the last sort of 15-20 minutes, I wouldn't say they deserved a goal. I mean, De Gea made a good save. Ultimately, their keeper probably should have saved McTominay's shot, but if you don't buy a lottery ticket, you don't get the score. But I must admit, Sanchez for Ballon d'Or, says Nicholas Skinner. I've got to say, my reflection on that half is fair play to McTominay for scoring a goal, but apart from him, I don't think many people come out of that half with any credit again. And surprise, surprise, it's the usual suspects. They're just, Alexis Sanchez is on 400 grand a week. Paul Pogba's one of the best midfielders in the world. Marcus Rashford is meant to be one of England's best talents. Matic is an international. Mata's being wasted in that number 10 position. We're not getting him on the ball enough. Ashley Young is Ashley Young. Phil Jones is giving me bloody heart nightmares. Shaw's done okay. Lindelof's been solid, and De Gea's done what De Gea's done. But there's too many players there who are top-class players on top-class money. It's bloody Huddersfield, for God's sake. I'm struggling to see why we're only 1-0 up against Huddersfield, and the goal that we scored was a speculative shot. And I mean speculative, it's like a percentage thing. I want to see more of that, by the way. I want to see us taking shots, because fair play to McTominay. That goal's nothing. It comes from a Huddersfield mistake. He takes it into the box, he shoots, and their goalkeeper makes a mistake. But fair play, we're 1-0 up. We deserve to be, because he took a shot and he scored a goal. But how many times have we carved Huddersfield apart? How many great saves has their goalkeeper made? How many saves has their goalkeeper made? We're 1-0 up against a team that's dreadful, and I'm trying to find out why. And in my mind, it's because yet again, those players are specialists in hovering around an average performance, when really they should be putting in 8 or 9 out of 10s, and nobody's doing it again for me, Marcus.
No, they're not. These players they're on a lot of money, but I think when this team is not in form, as we know it has been, I I think, what do we really expect? I think the team's done okay. It's not been a fantastic performance. I did say Huddersfield are there for the taking. But, like you said there, the goalkeeper's not really had that much to do. He's not really saved anything. The Pogba one hit the bar. You think the Mata one on the edge of the box wasn't even on target. I mean, apart from that, I can't think of anything else that he's had to do. De Gea has obviously made a great save with his foot to keep it at 1-0. But towards the end of the half, we sort of like tired out again in the last 10 minutes. They've got off. They've not on the front foot. They've let Huddersfield come back into it. Huddersfield looked a little bit dangerous on set pieces. And I think United, really, they should be looking at thanking De Gea for keeping it at 1-0, to be honest.
I know. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better than myself. It's puzzling. It's not puzzling. I think it's just consistent. We know there's just a massive problem with this squad, and the attitude of the players. That's one less half of crap football we have to watch, says JS. Yeah, good point. And Philip Burtonwood, that is so boring to watch. Kill the bloody game. We are 1-0 up. A team who is bottom of the league for a reason. Yeah, they are bottom of the league, and as I keep saying, they're one of the worst teams the Premier League has ever had. And we've not carved them open. We've not worked their goalkeeper. Fair play to McTominay. Paul Taylor says McTominay's been good, the rest are crap, and I am struggling. I mean, I've seen some people in the comments saying Sanchez had a good game. Look, let's not even talk about it. I'm not saying he's had a bad game, but I don't think you understand how much we pay him. I don't think you understand what he's meant to do for that money. A good game running around and doing a few 5-yard passes, that's not what he's there for. McTominay can do that, and we can praise him because he's a youngster, come through the youth setup, etc. Alexis Sanchez is the best paid player in the league. For what? Yeah. People do it about Pogba and they're right, but they're wrong. It's always Pogba's fault. It's always Pogba who's the crap player. Oh, look at Pogba this, look at Pogba that. It should be the same with Sanchez, Matic, Rashford. They're all the same as Pogba for me. They're all players that are meant to be doing a hell of a lot more with the talent that they have. And again, we're not seeing it from those players, and I don't really understand why. I wouldn't put I think Mata's done all right, Marcus. I just think we haven't got him on the ball enough. I think Mata, if you give him the ball in that number 10 position, he'll turn and he'll find a pass. We just haven't done it enough. He was the one who put the header onto Pogba's head.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mata's more dangerous as the number 10. He's wasted out on the right-hand side. For me, the disappointment of the half has got to be Rashford. He's making the runs. He is making the right ones, but he's not getting on the ball enough as our centre forward up there. I don't even think, apart from the free kick, I don't even think he's had a shot. So he's done most of his work outside the box, looking to get onto those, the balls over the top, or the balls in behind. But he's not having a good game for me at the minute. But again, I think, you could probably say that about, I mean, Sanchez, he's done okay, the effort's there and the desire's there, but apart from that, what has he done? What has he done apart from chasing down? Not an awful lot. Pogba, he's getting into the right positions, he's making those runs from midfield, he had the attempt that hit the bar, but again, not one of his great games, McTominay, again, apart from the shot, what has he done? Nothing. It's a bit hit and miss for me, this game. I think these players should be doing a hell of a lot better than what we're being shown at the minute.
I thought, you know what, as much as I've been critical of these players, I don't know about you lot at home, but did you expect more? I mean, look, 1-0, it could be 1-0 and we've hit the post 6 times and we should be winning 5-0. So, maybe the scoreline's a little bit deceptive because that can happen, but actually it's 1-0 and it's pretty much the only chance we've had. I expected more. I thought these players, because to be honest, Huddersfield, I mean, you couldn't have a better opposition. They're dreadful. So what better chance than to, the fans are annoyed with you. You've had a run of bad results. This is a gimme. This is a chance to go and, perform. And we haven't seen that. That has surprised me. Adam Kay says, if Tottenham win the Champions League, is there another spot? A few people are talking about if we finish 5th, can we get the Champions League if Europa League winners are in the top 4 of Champions League? I know for a fact that if if the Europa League winner finishes in the top 4th, it doesn't go down to 5th. The spot goes to a team in France. I don't know why. And I know with the Champions League it's the same. It doesn't go to France. I think it goes to bloody Austria or something like that. So I don't know why, but 5th will not get you in the Champions League. Adam K says yeah, we've done that one. And welcome to Joshy Boy 0280, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Remember, you can join by clicking the join button. You get your little badge next to your name, and you get access to the emojis, of which we've seen McMayonnaise quite a lot. He would be my standout player at the half. I tell you what, we haven't done this for a while. We'll do the player ratings, Marcus, at half time. We'll do half-time player ratings. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We got Transfer Daily every morning throughout the summer. At 7 o'clock that happens. 8 o'clock every night. We've got fan cams after the game, my match reaction. There's loads going on the channel, as per usual, but let's just do these player ratings, just because we normally do them in the match reaction, and we will do, but I think sometimes it's quite interesting to just do that. We've had a super chat as well from Suresh Banerjee. Pep, hi Ollie, want to do a swap Pogba deal? Ollie, yeah man, sure. Pep, what do you want to exchange? Ollie, your whole squad. Pep hangs up. Yeah. It's we're in trouble. I think we accept that, but I don't want to move me. That's not what I want to do. I can't get my bloody pen to work now.
If only it was that simple in football. I think a lot of people, I don't think they realise the amount of time that goes into getting a deal over the line. So, I don't know. I just think we're probably going to end up with three in the summer, and probably about 3 or 4 gone. Yeah,
you're probably right. It's I do think we'll be there'll be a lot less activity than we think, but it doesn't mean we can't hope. Right, I should have got my score thing now. Okay, so De Gea, I think I'd give De Gea a 7. Marcus, 7
for that save as well. Yeah.
Young 5. I just can't stand the guy. He's crap. As a footballer, I don't mind the person, but as a footballer, I thought he was average. I mean, again. He's meant to be the captain as well, so I think the captaincy means you don't just judge him as a right back, you judge him as the captain, and I think it was poor. Shout out if you disagree with any of these scores. Phil Jones, number 4 by shirt number 4 by performance. He's just
I'd go 6, James. I think
6?
He's been okay. Yeah, I think he's been okay. Him and Lindelof has been okay. Apart from the misplaced pass out the back, I think he's done all right.
Misplaced pass, stupid tackle, out of position loads, but. Yeah, Marcus says 6, I say 4. Lindelof 7. I think he's been really good, Lindelof.
I think he's been solid, yeah.
Luke Shaw 6, average.
Yeah.
Matic 5.
I think Matic has done okay. I'd go 6.
You're way too generous, you are. McTominay, give him an 8.
Yeah. With the
you
goal.
Disagree? I've gone too high.
Goal. He's got the goal and a lot of effort being shown. He's running around, So go on, 8.
Pogba 5.
No, I'll say 6 for Pogba. I think he's done okay.
Yeah, way too generous. You are. You're in a generous mood. You are. It's not
no,
your birthday,
I think he's done okay.
Matic 6. Mata 6.
Yeah, he's been involved as the number 10. Not as much as I'd like, but he has been involved.
Sanchez, I'd give him a 6. It's been average, I think.
Yeah, I'll give him a high-end 6, though, but he has the work rates there, but he just doesn't look up to standard of Premier League football.
You can go first on Rashford. What would you give Rashford?
I give Rashford a 4. I think Rashford has been poor in that first half, not really done anything, not had any attempts at goal apart from the free kick, so I'd give Rashford a 4.
See, I give him a 5. So I'm not all bad. So I gave Jones a 4. Marcus wanted to give him a 6. I gave Matic a 5. Marcus wanted to give him a 6. I gave Sanchez a 6. Marcus nearly wanted to give him a 7, and he wanted to give Rashford a 4, and I gave him a 5. So there you go. Good. It's good to have little bits of differences. Yeah. Let's just have a look at some of the comments just to see what people were thinking, because it's always, that's just our opinion, and every opinion counts. Ed B says, "What is this guy smoking?" but doesn't say who he's talking about. So we'll both take a high 5 there. Eric Corville says, "I'd give Pogba a 5." Elvis Lukeman says he'd give Rashford a 2, and I Speak the Truth says he'd give Pogba a 3. So
Yeah.
You wanted to go low on Rashford. I went low on Pogba, so that's about right. Matic a 2 from Alphonso Davidson. That's low. Matter a 5, says Mohamed Idris. I think we both thought Matter did okay. Pogba 7, says Jean Ho, who is Pogba's mum. And Pogba 6, says Random. Jones 2, says Jacob. Sanchez a 6. Sanchez a 5, says Alberic. So, varied. That's good. That's good. We want that. I think we were varied, and I think they were varied as well. So, second half. What sort of changes do you think we should be making, Marcus? I mean, a lot of people talking about Chong. I don't think he'll bring Chong on.
I would. Do you know what? I'd like to think that you would bring him on, and I think the one to go off for me would have to be Rashford. I don't see what he's brought to the game today, apart from his pace in behind. But he's not got on any of the balls that's been played into him. He's not held up the ball really well, and he's clapping and putting a thumbs up like Lukaku, as you said earlier. So I would take him off and bring a bit of youth in there and a bit of hunger and a bit of desire, and see if that gives the team a bit of a lift.
Gold Piece Prosperity, thanks for the contribution. He says the earth is flat, but Luke Shaw's tummy is not. I see extra lines on his shirt. Can you concur? No, I like Luke Shaw, and look, obviously to the naked eye he looks a bit on the large side, but it doesn't matter. Some people do carry a little bit of weight. It doesn't mean they're not fit and they're not fast, and I think Luke Shaw's one of the quickest players we've got. Harris Z says, Mark, Chelsea been playing dreadful. Well, look, I don't think United they've not made waves today, but the most important thing is that we win this game. Actually, I'm lying. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that we see better performances from these players, but hopefully we're going to see a lot of change in the summer. So really, it's about getting what we can from a bad situation. I think we need to get 3 points today, and if Chelsea drop points, then it makes it interesting for the last game of the season. I think if Chelsea win today, Arsenal are going to win. It's going to make it very difficult for us to nick it, whether we deserve it or not. But if Chelsea don't win and we do win, as bad as we've been, it makes it interesting. Eric Corville says he'd give De Gea an 8. Thanks for the contribution, mate. If it wasn't for De Gea, like you said, Marcus, it probably would be 1-1. It was a decent chance. And
Joe, you look ahead as well to those last games of the season. I think Arsenal are away at Burnley, aren't they? I think Chelsea have got Leicester.
Yeah.
Everton, excuse me, Everton got Spurs, and then we got Cardiff. So out of those fixtures, you would fancy us to get the 3 points, definitely. As for the other three, Arsenal's away form is terrible. Leicester are a decent side. Chelsea are away there. And I think Everton are away to Spurs, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, and you think the way Spurs are playing at the minute, they're 2 sent off, and they're on a bit of a bad run. They got beat by West Ham as well.
Everton's
at their
a potentially
stadium.
Tough game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the results go our way today, then next weekend is going to be very interesting.
Sam Robertshaw says I'd take Pogba off for Chong, to be honest. No changes at half time. I'd give Rashford a 69, says Super Scotty Boy. What you want to do in your own time's up to you. Rafael Morar says, who do you think will get top 4 and win the Europa League? I don't think we'll get top 4. I think I think Spurs will get top 4, and I think Chelsea will get top 4. But I think Arsenal might get Champions League by winning the Europa League. So, that's a good point as well. All those teams, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, have all played midweek in big European games. We've had a week off.
Yeah, they've got to do it again as well.
And we're going to have another week off. And I haven't seen the benefit from that week off at all. I'm sure a lot of people, if we'd been playing in the Champions League semi-final, we'd have a lot of people saying, we're just tired, it's a lot of games. We've had a whole week off. I do need to be time. You're right, Luca. Thanks for reminding me.
I mean, you think these players would show a little bit more fight, but the second half has started off with Huddersfield looking pretty comfortable in control at the minute. United not seeing that high tempo that we see from the first half in the opening 10-15 minutes. United are quite content to let Huddersfield have the ball. Luke Shaw's just picked it up here on the left.
I think United do struggle from another change in formation as well. The 4-3-3, I keep harking on about it, but the 4-3-3 that we played for 3 months and we went on that great run, we just don't use it anymore, and we're using a totally different formation again. I know we used this against Chelsea, but it wasn't that successful against Chelsea either, was it? So
No, but do you think that's to
it's just to get
compensate
Mata in the team, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think it's to do with that and to get Sanchez in there somehow? But Luke Shaw, low grim shot.
I got to read this super chat. Ali K says, "You look so cute today, Mark. Bet you have a nice tight bum." That's like, yeah, I shouldn't have read that one. Sam Almson says, "I feel a draw coming here, Mark." That's more like it. Keep it on the football. Chelsea apparently have scored this time. Don't worry, I will make sure that this is legit this time. It's not to say they haven't scored.
Let's have a look.
I think they have scored. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the live comments. Yeah. I think it's pretty much guaranteed that they have scored this time.
Well, yeah, Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, so it's not really going our way, is it? Huddersfield are on the attack.
Like United have really come out slow in this second half. I expected Huddersfield to come out and show a bit more fight in the way they were playing.
Just do the simple things well. I mean, this is not a bad counter-attack. Get up, Sanchez.
Sanchez done well there. Keep it out. In the ball in. McTominay cleared away. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has scored for Chelsea, so they're 1-0 up.
I think you'd have. I think there's, again, it's them final games next weekend.
Well, to be honest with you, if Chelsea get to 71 points, we're not finishing above them. If they win today, that's it, because their goal difference, we can't beat their goal difference if we can't be. This was the whole point. You had to beat Huddersfield by 4 or 5 goals today to have any chance of getting above Chelsea if Chelsea win one of their last 2 games. Chelsea's goal difference is 21. Ours is, it's 22 now, and ours is 15. So there was a chance there. I mean, as I said, you should be beating Huddersfield by minimum 3-0. And if we'd done 5 or 6, we had a chance.
I think Spurs will only need a draw against Everton as well, wouldn't they, to take them to 71?
Anyway, Chelsea scored again, so their goal difference is now better than ours by 2. So that's one of the spots gone. I think it's gone, really. I think we needed Watford to stop them winning today to have any chance. It's gone.
Right, so yeah,
it's gone.
Next week we're relying on Everton then. What corner is that? So yeah, we need Everton to get. Well, Everton would have to beat Spurs then. Chelsea would be on 71. Spurs are on 70 at the minute. So yeah, mind you, I mean, we're saying this before Arsenal have even kicked off as well.
No, we needed Watford to get something really.
Yeah.
It's not impossible if Everton beat Spurs and Arsenal.
Yeah, you'd have to say you'd want Arsenal to drop points as well now, wouldn't you, this afternoon? Huddersfield playing out from the back. United not quick to close them down. Just letting them play. Long ball forward. Lindelof. Thought Lindelof's going to get outpaced there, but De Gea came out to the rescue. Huddersfield on the ball. Knocking it back quite calmly. They're in no rush. But United, they're not quick in the tackle. They're really not quick at closing down this second half.
Red Jedi says we had plenty of chances to get top 4 and we blew it. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's why a lot of people have said, do we even deserve top 4? Because we know that we've... The wasteful pass by Sanchez there.
Mm-hmm.
Bakuna. Oh, bloody hell. That was a chance for Grant.
Yeah. good attempt there. I mean, Huddersfield looking dangerous.
They're a better team at the moment.
Yeah. I think they've had. I mean, that's the second decent chance they've had. I mean, Phil Jones was. He did the right things there, stood him up, tried to show him on his weaker foot, but cuts inside. De Gea was nowhere near that. Just over the bar.
Sanchez is coming off.
Sanchez is at it. Yeah.
I tell you what, Sanchez, get off and never come back. Never come back. Seriously, mate. The money we pay you, and you're bloody injured again. That's the problem with Sanchez. That's why everybody who sticks up for Sanchez can do one. I've done my ankle again. There's no effort. There's no fight. There's no determination to pay for the shirts. Just he won't play through an injury. As soon as he gets a knock, he's off.
So Herrera's coming on.
He's shaking his head. Nah, I don't fancy it.
No, that's probably it, Mark. You know, I didn't see nothing wrong. He didn't make a tackle. All he did was chase him back.
Oh, Herrera and Chong's coming on as well.
Yeah.
Or is he? Yeah. Chong is coming on.
Yeah, Chong's coming
Double
on.
Double substitution here. Matic off. Good. Don't know why Matic is off. Maybe he's injured as well. Good substitutions though. Do we get Europa League if we finish 6th? Yeah, unfortunately, Joseph Liam. We really need Dembele or Tonali, Cancelo and Koulibaly. We can't compete with this team, especially with the others improving. It's hard against Huddersfield. Well, yeah, we're struggling against Huddersfield, aren't we? Chong's coming on with Sanchez going off. So a bit of excitement. Yeah. Come on, we've got a bit of excitement here. You thought you had none. Get off, Sanchez, with your Poirot moustache. Never come back. Chong on. Excitement. Boom.
It's a forced change. He's not done it because he wanted to. It's been forced on him to make the change.
We feast for... Yeah. He's got 40 minutes. This might be the best 40 minutes of the season. Yeah. The most exciting 40 minutes of the season. We get to see Chong come on. Sanchez got absolutely no fight in him at all. Not interested. Oh, can't be bothered.
Just.
But I don't know if anyone knows why the Matic substitution. I don't know whether he was injured or it's just tactical. But he's off and Herrera's on.
You know, so it's going to be good to see this lad.
Well played, Pogba. Here's Chong.
Yeah.
Go on.
Here he goes. Already cutting inside.
Oh, look at that straight away. Positive.
Straight away, Massa. Yeah.
Cross comes in. Come on, United. Let's have a bit now.
The first run he's had.
Get him on the ball. See, that's the first. I've got to be totally honest with you. I'm actually got butterflies there from that run from Chong. I feel myself shivers. It's like actual genuine excitement to watch Manchester United. This is what youth brings. It doesn't really matter if he has a bad game. It's like, it's just exciting. It's something a little bit different. And I think Sanchez has got to go, Marcus, from now. Even if he's genuinely injured, you can't. He's injured too much, so you got to get rid of him. Herrera, that was speculative.
Yeah, I think the amount of money that's being paid to him. I think it's in United's best interest there to pay off half his contract and let him go. But straight away, I mean, Chong, chasing down, nearly got it off the goalkeeper then.
I tell you what, if it's early days to say it, but if Chong does anything in this game, it's going to be massively embarrassing for the coaching staff because they could have been using him way before now.
Yeah,
Herrera looks way better than Matic in that role as well. AJ's back, says the problem is you watch our players when we don't have the ball, lethargic and a can't be bothered attitude. This is not a team, it's a group of overpaid, underperforming individuals. You know, and that's at the moment, that's why people lay Pogba in. Oh, just wide. Better though. The substitutions have definitely changed United because in 3 minutes we've had 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the inclusion of Herrera there because he's come in and he's not sitting as deep as Matic and he's looking to spray that ball forward at every opportunity. You got Chong there pushing the back line back because of his pace, and Huddersfield won't know how to deal with him because there's that element of unpredictability about him. So it's going to be an interesting 35 minutes now. See how the lad does. United now got it with the back. See Herrera, as soon as he gets that ball, he's looking to go spray that forward, out wide.
Yeah, Greenwood couldn't play today because he's injured, like Richardson Jason's just said there. Come on, United. I actually, I'm enthused now. Let's get a few goals.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if Greenwood makes the team next week as well.
Thanks for the contribution, Sonny S.
Matt Herrera there, dodging the tackle straight away. Look out to the right-hand side. Look, the young lad is acres of space out there.
Too slow from Rashford. I cannot wait until Mason Greenwood is in the team to put pressure on Rashford and Martial, says Josh Waring. Good use of the emojis, Josh, as well. Not lost on me. I think the embarrassing thing about this game is if it finishes anything less than 3-0, it's embarrassing for the players, and I don't know whether you can blame Ollie for that, because you send 11 players out against Huddersfield and they should be able to get 3 goals.
They should be able to, yeah. I mean, you look at the quality that's on that pitch. But again, I did speak about it earlier. I didn't see where the goals are going to come from in this team. That we lacking in an actual out-and-out goal scorer.
Well, Chong's getting on the ball a bit here.
Just need someone out.
Would Chong be allowed that hair under Ferguson, says Stig Helg Welsterham? Well, it might be cultural. You can't tell somebody they can't have their hair like something. To be honest with you, if I had a barnet like that, it would impact the way I play football, but it doesn't seem to impact the kid.
No. I mean, already you can see the movement of him off the ball.
Go on, you've got to whip that in, short. That's why your assist levels are so low. You needed to whip that in a lot quicker.
Yeah. Could have possibly had 2 touches out of that and then get it in on the third, but he took an extra 4th. But Matters sprinting across for the corner again.
Doesn't Chong remind you of... Let's see what happens with that corner. McTominay's up, straight at the keeper. Doesn't Chong remind you of Best with that hair? Says Adam K. And we need to copy Liverpool and spend smart.
Huddersfield are in.
Sonny S.
1-1.
Oh, bloody hell!
Knew it.
Bloody hell! I wasn't looking. I was looking at the live comments. What the bloody hell's going on with this football club? What's happened here, Marcus? I didn't even see it.
So
I shall have to see it back.
It was a long ball over the top. Luke Shaw, absolutely diabolical defending there. He goes for it, completely mistimes it.
I've seen the McTominay header here. They're playing it back now, so...
He's nowhere near us.
It's terrible. It's terrible defending by Luke Shaw, and it's 1-1. It goes from bad to worse with this team. Through the legs of the hair, he can't do much. It's just a long... It's a Sunday morning pub football goal, that is. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know what Luke Shaw's doing there. I don't know what it is. The Poppadom smashing through the bowl. The bowling ball smashing through the Poppadom again. Poppadom defending. It's shocking. It's on Luke Shaw, I've got to say. Contender for Player of the Year as well.
It was so simple for them. Just a long hoof up from their goalkeeper, and Luke Shaw, an awful mistake.
It's only what they deserve, though. I've got to say, it's only what Huddersfield deserve. Because, all right, we've made those substitutions and we're happy with it, but it doesn't rub out the fact that this team performance has been pretty crap again from Manchester United.
Yeah. And Ollie's made the changes. One obviously enforced upon him. But you look at that bench and you think, well, who else could make an impact here? They got a problem with the corner flag on the pitch. But what an awful goal to concede. So basics. Just a long pump up from the goalkeeper. And next thing you know, it's in the back of the net. Cannot blame De Gea for any part of that.
No, it's a one-on-one. Striker misses a one-on-one and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, for God's sake. I just don't...
Oh, he's booted it. That's why. After Benza scored the goal, he booted the corner flag and he snapped it.
Gold, peace, prosperity. I'm not reading any more comments out about people's weight. It's not on, really, to be honest, is it? That's not, I'm not having any of that. He made a mistake. We don't need to call him fat. I just don't know with United anymore. I just don't know.
I can't believe it. I mean, there was 3 back there. All right, it's down Luke Shaw's side. I mean, you got to say there, the bounce has caught him out, but it's awful.
What he should do is not go for the ball. Just do the sprint. Just sprint. But it caught us all. But to be fair, it catches all. We can all moan, but it catches us all by surprise. It should not be catching a team of our quality by surprise, though. But it has, and it is Manchester United 1-1 with Huddersfield. God, I feel sick saying it. Do I feel surprised? I've got to be honest, I do feel surprised today. I thought they've lost 8 games in a row. I'm getting bored of saying this myself. I should have a button for it. They've lost 8 games in a row. They're averaging 3 goals a game conceded. I mean, Ollie's sat there with a little tight grin on his face. I'm like, what do you know that I don't know that's funny then, Ollie? Because we don't know. That's the thing. Cut him some slack is the thing. We don't know what's going on at the football.
The thing
club.
is,
I do think people like Pogba have already gone. I really do. I think they've already mentally checked out.
I think some of those players, deserve to be there. Some of those players don't warrant to be there. And this is where you're going to find out now, the reaction. Now, Lindelof's doing his part here. Having a word with Chong.
That's leadership.
Yeah.
And a lot of us talk about Lindelof, and he actually is doing a lot of shouting and talking at people. And while our real captain is stood with his arms on his hips. Brilliant. Yeah, fucking absolutely superb. I'm glad that Sky showed that contrast there. You got Lindelof going up to Tahi Chong, going like this, telling him what to do, talking to his team. Then it cuts to the real captain, Ashley Young, who stood there like this. You're not a captain, mate. Look at it. Oh, he's just learnt this. Yeah. I think someone's just sent him a message. The cameras are on you. And he goes like this. Come on, heads together. That's not bloody leadership. That's not leadership. Oh, come on, let's get our heads focused. That's not leadership. That's not captaincy. First of all, sort your own performance out. Second of all, start speaking to people individually. 25 minutes. All we can do is get out of this game a win now. Forget your goal difference. That was the whole point of today. A minimum 3-0 win. You did say, Marcus, you were worried about today. I said, nah, do you realise how crap Huddersfield are? I mean, this is how crap Huddersfield are. They're now trying to straighten the line flag because they haven't got another one. They haven't got another corner flag, so they're trying to use the original bloody thing.
It's, it is. I always fear United playing against the lesser teams away from home. There's something about it. Traditionally, United have never really been very good at doing the early kickoffs either on a Saturday or a Sunday. But now they're trying to get that flag. Oh, there we go. Yay.
Sonny S says, remember we could have gotten Klopp or Pep. I don't know whether we could have done. I think that's a bit of a myth. We missed out, didn't we? Andrew 96, this last month has felt like a full season. Please just let this end already. The sad thing is, Andrew, we've still got another game to go, and next week, well, as long as we win this game, as slim as the chances will be, we will still be having a chance of getting in the top 4 next week. I think it's gone. I think the fact that Chelsea have won, it's gone. But
even then against Cardiff next week, I wouldn't even fancy that because our form at Old Trafford is horrendous.
What I don't understand with this team, and as we start to look at the bigger picture here, is what I don't understand with this team is that Ollie came in and for 3 months they looked like they could beat anybody. They look like they could beat anybody in the world. And I know people will be laughing loudly about that, but we did look like we could beat anybody. And then over the last 2 months, we've looked like we should be in the Championship. I And that can only be about the players. I mean, look, obviously there's been some naivety from Ollie and the coaching staff. I think they've changed too much, too often. The formation seems to change every week. But those players should still be good enough. And they're just not.
Well, I think Pop was showing a bit of frustration here. He's in danger of picking up a yellow. Just need to calm down a bit.
Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Got match reaction coming up in the fan cams. And again, it's difficult with the United travelling support because I think they want to be loyal, and I think they're just getting as frustrated as anybody else. I think the players are under a massive amount of, not pressure, because I think that's too kind a word, but scrutiny. Cross comes in from Huddersfield. Young just about gets it away. I mean, there's a worry now.
There is.
And Huddersfield will see it. I've been very impressed with this Bakuna, by the way. I think he's been my man of the match. Do you think that the gap between 6th and 7th will be a lot smaller next season, said Luke Howard? Well, if we're the team finishing 6th, yeah. The gap between 6th and 7th should be actually absolutely massive, but I think we're lucky the season is ending when it's going to end. It gives us an opportunity to make changes in the summer. Whether we do or not is another thing. But I think if there was another 3 months left in this season, we would get caught by the teams who are fighting for 7th.
Oh,
it's Phil Jones again.
Yeah. I'll take that 6 back I give Phil Jones. I'm dropping him to a 4.
He's crap. He's absolutely crap.
But United, I mean, they've got to give a positive reaction there. Too many times when they've conceded a goal, their heads are dropped.
Well, we're being passed off the park by Huddersfield.
Yeah. Huddersfield look like they're playing out of their skin there.
United's last 5 away games, we've lost all of them. Remember when we were good, better away from home than we were at home? We're getting made to look silly by Huddersfield, says Owen Wade. Yeah, exactly, mate. I'll tell you what, I did say on Twitter today, it's quite a big weekend because it's bank holiday weekend in the UK. And I said, I've tweeted out, here we go, Pogba's down the left. Let's see if we can do something first, and then we'll come back to that. Pogba cross, way over hit. Plenty of people in the box, but no one can get on the end of that. The Book Nut fan says, most interesting thing about this game is how they fix the corner flag. And Luke Howard says, do you think that we've read that one. No, I put a tweet out today ordering 5 things from exciting to crap. And I ordered them things that are happening over the weekend. So number 1 was Line of Duty final episode, exciting. Game of Thrones episode 4, quite exciting. World snooker final, divisive. Watching paint dry, boring. United versus Huddersfield, torture. And that's come to pass. That has come to pass. I actually thought United would win this game 3-0, and 3-0's a nice win, but we don't really learn anything from it because Huddersfield are crap. It's been worse than that. It's actually worse than a straightforward 3-0 win, which I expected. It's been a struggle draw so far, and hopefully we'll get a late winner, but it's still only Huddersfield.
First half was okay, but the second half has been absolutely terrible.
Here's a good comment from Ernest Tabari. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Marcus. He says, Luke Shaw mistakes. Barcelona, Wolves, City, now this. All pub league mistakes, and he's player of the year because he's English. Absolute bullshit and joke of the club. I think you're being a bit... I don't like the English thing there. I find that's totally irrelevant. We're an international football club with an international fan base, so why are you bringing English into it? He's player of the year candidate because he's been one of the best players of the year with Victor Lindelof, who's Swedish. Goal! Oh, he's bloody missed it! Phil Jones, what a prat! I feel like it's bloody history repeating itself. A decent cross in by Ashley Young. He's level with the 6-yard box and he puts it over the bar. What an absolute plonker. Couldn't finish his dinner. Oh, it's simple. It's simple. McTominay's behind him saying, you bloody prat. I could have had 2. What an idiot. That's a sitter, Marcus. That is a bloody sitter. Fucking hell. Sorry for the language.
What was I thinking giving him a 6? Get him out.
Get him out.
He's an absolute joke at being a 3. Oh, my life. How do you miss that? All you got to do is just pass that into the net. The goal.
I tell you what, he'd pass it into his net if it was the other end. OG.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God almighty, what a miss.
But all you do is you just lay it off into the net. That's all. The goalkeeper's rooted to the spot. He won't get to it. But no, he puts it back 2 meters over the bar. What a joke! What a joke!
If you don't laugh, you cry.
And you can't blame the pink boots today because they're black. So,
Yeah.
Herrera's coming forward. Well, at least we've had a bit of excitement with Chong coming on. We've had a bit of comedy today with that and Phil Jones.
Going back to what people were saying about Luke Shaw, he has made a lot of mistakes recently. When Matters in.
Matters is.
Oh, Rashford now! For God's sake, it's catching! Oh my God, Rashy! Rashy! Oh, well, he's took his coat off. Rashy, what have you done? I've stuck by you all this time. And he's missed a sitter as well. Oh, he's missed it worse than Jones. Oh, it's Matter with the assist. And God, I'd have scored both of those. Get me a shirt, quick.
That is awful.
Hell.
Absolutely awful. I mean, we're condemning Phil Jones, but you got to give it to Rashford there as well.
You've got 100%.
Yeah, totally free up for me. In between the two centre backs, nowhere near him, and you could have even took a touch there just to steady the ball.
But you know what? I've got to say this because a lot of people are saying it in the comments. You have a go at these players, but who's picking them? We know Rashford's been terrible for ages. We know Phil Jones is a joke. We know Ashley Young's crap. But they're playing every week. So when they miss sitters like that, we're almost not really going mad about it because it's like, we know they're crap. We know they're crap. So when they miss them, it's not really a surprise. It's got to reflect on the coaches who are picking them because they shouldn't be being picked. They're not good enough.
I mean, you think today, right, we got Lingard, Lukaku and Martial out injured from the first team. We've got Mason Greenwood out injured as well.
There's
so
nobody
that
else.
front line
There
picks
isn't
itself,
anybody,
really. The midfield, question marks about the two of them. McTominay and Matic, for me, could have possibly been Herrera, Fred and Pogba in there today. Phil Jones, what is he doing playing there instead of Smalling? Smalling is the better centre-back out of them two for me.
Well, Ruddy11 Full says 5 years more of Jones and Rashy. And I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will come out at the end of the game and say, Andrew Rossi says Rashford is already on holiday. He'll come out and say we've had the chances, we've not took them. But how many times can you keep saying that when it's you're picking these players? And I do agree with you, Rashford probably had to play today. Good tackle by Herrera there. Oh, and what he's doing.
And Chelsea are 3-0 up.
And it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we needed to get our goal difference boosted today to have a chance on the last day of going past Chelsea. They've boosted theirs by 3. We haven't even boosted it yet. So, Geordie99908. So many players here because of their passports. But yeah, just going back to that comment a while ago when someone was saying Luke Shaw's made loads of mistakes, but he's going to get Player of the Year because he's English. I think he's a Player of the Year candidate with Lindelof, who's Swedish, because they've been the best of a bad bunch. But what's happened with Lindelof and Shaw over the last couple of months is they're starting to make mistakes. Like Lindelof made a mistake, didn't he, against Wolves as well? Yeah. They're starting to, their performances are starting to drop as well now. So the players that were reliable, they're dropping off as well. So everybody's getting gradually worse.
So just looking at Ollie there, talking to Carrick. McKenna's there as well. Phelan's up on the touchline. Do you reckon maybe it's like too many contrasting ideas here? I really don't see what
too
McKenna
many chefs
brings.
And not enough. Spoiling the broth. Yeah, too many chefs in the kitchen.
I mean, you don't need 4 people, surely. All you need there is Solskjaer and Phelan. I don't see what McKenna brings to that role. I never see him having discussions with Phelan or Solskjaer. It's always Michael Carrick doing it.
It's worrying. It is worrying, says Fan Rant. It is. Well, McTominay's head injury is a bit worrying, actually. We've not mentioned it. He's down at the moment. Oh, he's all right. He's up on his feet.
But yeah, maybe there's just, there's too many ideas. There's too many people there on the staff that like certain players and want certain players to play. I think Ollie, I just think you don't need Carrick and McKenna in there. You really don't.
Well, yet again, even if Ashley Young scores a hat trick from right back in the next 15 minutes, which he won't do, yet again we are looking at an Ashley Young performance at right back, and it's been below average. And you're telling me that a 19-year-old Diogo Dalot would not have had a better game than him? It is favouritism. I don't care what anybody says. It is favouritism that is affecting the performance of our team. He should not be playing for Manchester United. And he's not the only one. There's a few others as well. But Rashford is so extremely immature in front of goal, says Shano Christensen. I mean, the thing is, Shano, it's not like he won't be practising in training. But there's a difference between training and real match play, and he does seem to struggle.
Do you know what? I would actually seriously consider bringing in an out-and-out striker next season and playing Rashford on the right-hand side. I was all for it, for him leading the line. But I just think his body language now, looking at him since he's missed that chance, he's almost like laboured and can't be bothered attitude.
Well, Dalot is coming on.
Yeah. See, look, Carrick's having a word with him. Look, why are you feeling having a word with him or Solskjaer? Yeah. And again, where's McKenna and all that? Just sat there. I just think there's too many people there with too many ideas. They overcomplicate it. They really do. Just stick to a settled 11. Stop messing about with the formations. All over top matter. Yeah.
I mean, what do you do with Paul Pogba, everybody? Seriously. Like, he's clearly a good player, but we just... Whether it's him, whether it's the formation, whether it's the players around him, we just don't get the best out of Paul Pogba. So what do you do with him? Would you cash in? Do you think he wants to go? Do you think he will be here next season? I mean, part of me, I change my mind all the time. I think he will be here, then I think he'll definitely want to go. It's...
For me, I'd cash in. I really would. I think this team needs leaders. It really does. And I think I put a tweet out last night. I think if Madrid offered us Varane and James Rodriguez, I'd take it and I'd run away laughing. I really would. I think James Rodriguez would be the absolute natural replacement if we play this formation and play him at number 10. I think with Varane, you got an absolutely fantastic centre back that's commanding leadership skills. Him and Lindelof would be ideal. And then all you got to do in the summer.
Well, a lot of people talking about Rashford as well. Rashford becomes a problem because you can keep playing Rashford, but he's had another bad game. He's missed another big chance. So how can you go into next season playing a striker who can't score your goals?
And again, the two centre forwards for me that I'd be looking at, Icardi and Werner. I think those two. Icardi obviously wants out. Got a wife that can't keep quiet, and Werner, as far as I know, is a Manchester United fan as well.
Thomas Wade says, this is pathetic. This team is checked out and it's sad to see. Our youth team would beat this team. The youth would play for the badge. We need leader on this team and Lindelof is the guy. I mean, to be fair, talking about youth, Chong started off quite well, but he's given the ball away a couple of times in the last few minutes. But, this is the problem again, isn't it? It's like he's playing in a team that's just crap. Who's there to... People talk about the class of 92, and I've said it so many times, the class of 92 were just brilliant, but they also came into the United team with Keane and Cantona and Schmeichel and other leaders in it. If you come into this team as a youth player, who have you got? People are struggling with their own game. They ain't got time to be helping you out. Pranav Kandali says that Pogba's shit, two manager different tactics, and not for him. Rashford's hit a good shot there. But I think
but hitting that from way out, look, 81 minutes. That's, as far as I can tell, that's the second shot he's had.
Christian B says that United board have actually failed Pogba and De Gea. Well, I'm a firm believer that I think that Pogba needs better players around him, but is that an excuse? I don't know. I mean, as I say, I think it's unfair that it always comes back to Pogba. And I'm not saying Pogba's had a good game, he hasn't, but there are other players out there. I mean, Sanchez, talk about checked out. He didn't do a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
He has a little knock and he's off, you know. Now, maybe it is a proper injury, or maybe it's a knock that some people would play on with, but he certainly doesn't have that attitude. You know, he doesn't. He's checked out as well. So he had to play Sanchez today, though, because we haven't got any other forwards. Like, Delo's coming on now. But this will be an embarrassment, Marcus, if we don't find a winner. He's taking Lindelof off. God, I think he might be injured. Yeah, straight down the tunnel. 5 more years of Phil Jones. Our club is dead, says Jack Dunn. Yeah, Lindelof's injured. Straight down the tunnel.
There's an awful lot of injuries we're picking up as well at the minute. For me, I want to believe that it's the fatigue issue. I mean, they do say in football, if you're not happy, you tend to pick up injuries, don't you? But for me, I just think they're working so hard. They put so much effort in to getting to be in contention for the top 4 that they're just not used to it, and it's starting to catch up with them now.
I like Chong. I like the way he glides with the ball. I love him on the ball. He glides with it really well. I mean, he might well be a year off being ready physically, but he probably needs a loan next season. But that's a good ball into him there. Can he hold it up? 2-footed player as well. I think physically is where he's going to struggle, John.
You can tell the difference in the energy levels between him and like the likes of Mata or Pogba. The movement of Chong, he's looking to get involved. He's moving all over that front line, looking to pick that ball up. He's going out wide, he's going central. There's just no one wanting to pick that pass to him.
We need a whole new backroom staff, good coaches, says Adiola Babtundi, sorry. Glenn Light says blow the whistle, ref. It's gone the way that a lot of people probably didn't think it was going to go. I mean, Chelsea beating Watford 3-0, I wouldn't have expected that. And United drawing with Huddersfield at the moment, and even if we get a late winner, I just don't expect that. Who would you rely on for a Bush Tucker trial from United to Sonny S? You're going to starve, mate.
Yeah, you got rice that night.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the space that Delo's got out there, look. Go on, finally.
Go! Oh, McTominay. Tried to chest it in. It's probably too low for McTominay. He's so tall.
It's been disappointing this second half. It really has, especially since the goal as well. Apart from Rashford's shot from outside the box, what have we really created? Nothing. You know, the only person I see trying to give the team a lift was Lindelof. No, interesting times for United going forward here. You get to see who's got the skills, you know, the leadership qualities, characters, the mannerisms.
I don't think there's any surprise amongst United fans that we have done this today. But I think there's no excuses as well. Like, there's no excuses. Our team should be good enough to beat this team of Huddersfield. They're one of the worst Premier League sides ever.
So come on. Laid it off.
Andrew Rossi, I think you guys are onto something about the number of coaches. Too many chefs. Chiefs is never a good thing. Thanks, Andrew. Well, it was Marcus's point, to be fair.
Well, just going back, like, you got Ollie who says he's the main man, right? He makes the final decision. You've got Phelan there, who's a well-known assistant manager, coach, whatever you want to class him as, been assistant to the best sports manager in football for so many years. And then you've got the two staff there that Mourinho brought in. And I think Mourinho really only brought them in just to get fans on side because he knew he was under pressure.
Yeah.
So for me, I think next season, them two have got to get out of that position, go and do what Nicky Butt's doing, coach the under 23s or something. Do something with the youth. Carrick, fantastic player in his day. Is he management quality? No, I don't think so. Managed, McKenna as well. I don't think he should be anything to do with the first team. And you got 4 people there in control of first team affairs, making decisions. Surely, sometime they got to butt heads and cross swords with each other, because it's just you don't need that many people talking.
It worked at the start, and something went dreadfully wrong, and we don't know
Chong's
what it
in
is.
acres of space here. He's got him behind.
Chong. Oh, lucky.
Shot.
He did well.
Nearly.
He did really well. It's a shame no one was falling in. He did really well there, Chong. Running in down the left, got his shot away. Does everything right. Right. It's a good save by the
keeper.
Might have been a bit offside.
I think he's offside, yeah.
But from that angle, to cut in like that and to force a save from the keeper from there. Pogba onto the bar.
Off the bar again.
Below. Oh, that's unlucky. Come on, let's at least get the 3 points.
But again,
there'll probably be a few minutes added on. I would have thought as well, because of the.
Yeah, but you think where is this?
Look at this fight from Herrera. Look at this from Herrera.
Yeah, where's the urgency been for the last 35 minutes? It's not been there. We've
got to be careful here now. It's 2v2. Yeah. If he's selfish, he's going at Young. Save with the feet.
Oh, I get it.
Tense this. Good shot by Pogba in the bar. Oh, just get over the line. I mean, look, we can self-reflect at the end, and it's not been good from United. I mean, 2-1's not a good result, but at least it's 3 points. I mean, it's embarrassing if we don't.
Yeah. Well, if this was 1-1 away to, I don't know, Spurs or Chelsea or Arsenal, you say, yeah, all right, we'll take a point and see what happens on the last game for me. But 1-1 away to a team that's bottom of the league, already relegated, it's awful. Absolutely awful. The players just haven't done enough. I mean, okay, we've hit the bar twice, but where's the rest of the effort? Where has that effort been for the last 30 minutes, 35 minutes? And De Gea again, making a save with his foot, keeping us in the game. How many times we got to rely on the goalkeeper to keep us out of trouble?
Well, we'll see how long he's going to add on.
But you think it's probably at least, I would say 4 minutes at least. Delow, ball in. And again, since Delow's come on, we're starting putting balls into the box from the wide positions. Huddersfield making a change.
Well, I'm not lost for words, because I don't do that, but I'm like 90 minutes against this side into. I mean, look, Huddersfield score a goal. I suppose that's football, but to only score one ourselves is massively confusing. Arimonga says, can't even put what
8 minutes
is essentially a championship side to the sword. The lack of cutting edge is baffling. And Sergio Hernandez, 9-man Tottenham played better than this. We've got 8 minutes. That's the good news. We've got 8 minutes. We've got 8 minutes to score a goal. Well, there was a large stop for the linesman's flag, and then there was the head injury.
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah.
We've got 8 minutes, people. We can do it. We can still do it.
You say that with such conviction.
Yeah. They could do it.
But they're in. They could. Yeah, they're in again. Luke Shaw across. There we go.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me. I would say about this game is that, all right, Huddersfield have scored and we maybe draw the game, whatever. But 1 goal, it's pitiful. They've been averaging 3, so, and it's a sign of how bad things are at United, really.
Yeah. And their goal against us wasn't even from a set piece either. Just a normal, basic clearance by the goalkeeper, and mistake by Luke Shaw in the back of the net. But
they've had chances though. I mean, that was a mistake. They actually have had chances, haven't they? Really?
Yeah, they have. I mean, De Gea's saved twice. They had that curling shot from the edge of the box that was just over the bar that De Gea was nowhere near. Second half, I think they've been well worth the draw, to be honest. They have put up a lot more of a fight than what they did in the first half. And United have just found that hard to deal with.
Yeah, well, we always struggle against the team that puts effort in, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, we looked good in the first half because Huddersfield weren't pressing us. We had plenty of time on the ball. Our players were getting, plenty of space and finding those little pockets. But the second half, since Huddersfield has started to press a little bit higher, United just cannot deal with it at all because we just don't have the players to deal with it. I mean, Rashford's trying to get him down the left here. Luke Shaw, Herrera. I mean, you can see the difference Herrera's made in the midfield as well since he's come on.
Oh, it's like chalk and cheese.
Yeah,
to think that next season we will have Matic there and not Herrera because Herrera will be gone. It's sad. It's absolutely sad. It really is because Matic is going nowhere. Yeah.
21 attempts for Huddersfield 7.
But they've had the better chances, really. I mean, well, to be fair,
5 on target
Pogba at the
for
bar.
us.
Rashford and Jones should have scored. We've had the better chances, actually. I take that back, but they've been more clinical with theirs. They force saves with theirs. I don't think we have. We've hit the post. We've hit the bar. We've put 2 wide that we should have scored.
Someone's got a yellow here. I think it's goalkeeper for wasting time.
Oh dear, Marcus. Bloody hell. Roll on pre-season.
Yep, exactly. Where are we? Australia, isn't it?
Australia, China, and Hong Kong, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be really weird having 6 weeks off now,
It's all about the transfers. It's to be honest, I said this before you came on today. I love the transfers. We do the transfer daily, so make sure you subscribe and get your notifications on every morning, Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. And we started it midweek last week, and I'm glad I did because it's actually made me feel enthusiastic rather than just fed up. And today has made me feel fed up again. And look, I'm not transfers. I just like them. It interests me and it's exciting. And you can dream that we will do what we need to do. We probably won't, but at least for a few months we can dream that we are going to get rid of the crap and we are going to buy the right players. Because I tell you what, I could do with 3 months of dreaming because this last 8 months has been, to think that it started off with Jose and where it's become now. Can we get a late goal here?
Probably not.
No.
Herrera, no. So we've got 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, still another 3 minutes.
I was thinking this morning, mate, which is dangerous for some people. We've been doing this, me and you, for 3 years now. This is our third season.
It's getting worse. No, it's not getting worse. It's like a yo-yo, isn't it? You have ups and downs, but we never seem to be able to get back to where we should be. We've had Europa League wins, we've had Carabao Cups, we've had second in the league, we've had 3 months of playing really, really well, but we just don't seem to be able to get back to where we need to be. De Gea has faced over 180 shots this season, says Jesus Escobar. Yeah, and I bet that's way more shots than any of his competitors.
Yeah. I did see that this morning, actually.
But one goal against Huddersfield is just not good enough. It isn't. I don't care. I don't care who you are. It's not. And that whether that's down to bad finishing or not, it's not good enough.
No, the bloke they're showing on the TV then, Mr. Woodward, is in for a hell of a ride this summer. Hell of a ride, because I think if he doesn't support Ollie, then there'll be a lot of people on his back. I don't see the fans turning on Solskjaer at all.
Not in the summer. I don't think so in the summer. I think it would be unfair to do that.
I think the summer he's got ahead of him is absolutely huge. But United trying to go for it. Misplaced pass by Pogba. Huddersfield come. Misplaced pass by Huddersfield. Herrera intercepts. Chong's got it on the right. He's running at him. Delo. Oh. The final ball as well today has been terrible. Just lacks quality. Just into the final minute. Rashford, long shot again.
He's trying to produce something that it looks good for the cameras, but he's done that twice now. You're shooting from 30 yards out and you're hoping that the keeper's going to make a mistake. And when you've missed a shot from 8 yards out,
there's not enough power on that shot either, Mark, to even trouble the goalie.
Well, this is I don't even know what to say. It's not a huge wake-up call for Manchester United at all, isn't it? We will be doing the match reaction straight away. Marcus, man of the match? Or thoughts?
Well, I think I'm going to go to safe route. I'm going to go with De Gea. He made the save at 1-0 to keep us in it in the first half. Huddersfield got back into it, no fault of his own. And he's, Huddersfield, they could have made it 2-1 and it's game over. So De Gea for me. That's awful. Very, very poor from United. Very poor. I'd be interested to see the press conference after now, just to see what he's got to say, because obviously the boys will know the Chelsea result and know it's not finished really yet, because he's still got one game to go with Everton. But I think the players know.
Yeah, but I look at Ashley Young down on his hands and knees there, looking disappointed, and I'm like, you're the captain, mate, and you played crap again. So I think the players are looking for some sort of, I tried. It don't wash anymore. That's not going to wash anymore. It's not good enough. It's like, who are we looking at now? Do you want us to start turning on another manager, or are we going to look at the players? Go and clap the away fans. It's great, but actually, there's huge problems at this club, and you cannot be doing this week in, week out. Anyway, we've got nearly 20,000 people watching. I'm sure they're watching because they want to see the reaction. The match reaction is coming up from me in about 60 seconds. The link is in the video description, or you can go through the homepage. But thanks for coming on, Marcus, and thanks for everyone watching the watch along.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. Hope you have a good day, everyone, and see you next time.
Cheers, pal. Match reaction, 60 seconds. We won't be holding back. Link in the video description. I shall see you there in 60 seconds. Thank you, everyone. Bloody hell. How can this keep happening? How can they keep doing this? It's a joke.
I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know.